In this video, we're looking at the creators who chased attention so aggressively that the consequences eventually caught up with them. By the end, you'll see how clout chasing can go from dumb content to real-world disasters. Also, remember to subscribe if you enjoy these creator downfall compilations. To start this video, we're looking at the idiot YouTuber who went to North Sentinel Island. North Sentinel Island is often considered the most dangerous place in the world. It's home to one of the most deadly uncontacted tribes on Earth who have unalived several outsiders who dared to step foot on their island, burying them in shallow graves right on the beach for the world to see. Going there is almost certainly a death wish, but in the modern age, creators are willing to risk it all for clout, like Mikhailo Viktorovich Polyakov, who just recently attempted a trip to the deadly island. And although he somehow managed to come back unscathed, it's possible that he might have triggered a mini genocide on the island itself. To fully understand just how dumb and insensitive this entire trip was, it's worth knowing who this man is and why he was so desperate to reach this uncontacted island. Mikhailo Viktorovich Polyakov is a 24-year-old YouTuber from North Goldwater, Arizona. He runs a YouTube channel named Neo-Orientalist, which he created fairly recently in September of 2024, almost a year later, and it's still fairly unknown, with only 4.6k subs, and only one major piece of content, a 6-part vlog series documenting the 3 weeks Mikhailo spent in one of the most dangerous places in the world, Taliban-controlled Afghanistan, along with several shorts highlighting the various moments from the same trip. Now, to his credit, he did put effort into properly exploring Afghanistan's culture from an objective lens, regardless of his personal opinions on it, even documenting important historical locations across the country and day-to-day life of the locals. It seemed like he was genuinely interested in showing his viewers a part of the world that doesn't get much coverage, even if it meant putting his life in danger. Fortunately for him, viewers noticed, with one thankful viewer writing, "I'm glad these videos actually show the real Afghanistan, unlike other videos where in 40 minutes, half is showing them walking to a hotel and inside the hotel, and the other half is eating in a restaurant and buying clothing." However, despite all of this, there were some questionable moments within the content he posted, especially his shorts, where his thrill-seeking side would take over. Take, for example, him posing with one of the Afghan militia's machine guns, shooting with the militia, and recording a road rage incident that turned violent. But regardless, his vlogs still did moderately well, generating around 20 to 30,000 views per video, especially considering that they were the first videos he ever posted. He had a real opportunity to keep putting out videos like this, exploring different cultures, and generating an audience that enjoyed his slightly more risky adventures from time to time. However, Mikhailo didn't want to build an audience over time. He wanted to go viral overnight. So he decided to take the biggest risk he could think of to reach this goal, and ended up choosing North Sentinel Island as his next destination, blatantly disregarding the law, the obvious threat to his own life, and the threat to the people on that island, all in search of internet clout. For those who don't know, North Sentinel Island is approximately the size of Manhattan, New York, and is located about 750 miles off the coast of India. As a result, it's completely cut off from civilization. In fact, the only civilization that's even remotely close to it is Port Blair, the capital of the Andaman and Nicobar Islands in the Bay of Bengal. However, despite its isolation, there is a group of people that have been surviving on the island for centuries, without ever stepping foot on the mainland, a tribe known as the Sentinelese, rumored to be the direct descendants of the first humans to migrate out of Africa. The estimated 200 Sentinelese on the island have adopted a primitive lifestyle, hunting for animals and fish with spears, bow, and arrows, while wearing little to no clothing, leading many people to believe that they might be humanity's last remaining link to the Stone Age. However, their unique and detached existence has also made them a prime target over the years, from explorers, adventurers, and even governments trying to bring them back to civilization. The earliest incident of outsiders making contact with the Sentinelese occurred sometime in the 1880s, when the British Navy led a survey mission to North Sentinel Island that quickly turned ugly. In their attempt to civilize the Sentinelese, the Navy ended up kidnapping 6 members of the tribe, an elderly couple and their 4 children, and took them to Port Blair, where tragedy awaited them. You see, because the Sentinelese have been living isolated from the rest of the world for thousands of years, they haven't developed immunity to any of our diseases. So when these 6 members of the tribe were eventually brought to the mainland, the elderly couple ended up falling sick and dying almost immediately. Fortunately, the children managed to survive, and were quickly sent back to the island along with several gifts as a gesture of peace. However, the damage was already done. The Sentinelese have consistently responded with arrows and aggression to anyone that has tried to enter their territory since that incident, no matter their intention. Like in 2004, when a Sentinelese man on the beach tried to shoot an Indian Coast Guard helicopter with a bow and arrow, even though it only came to check on the tribe's welfare after a tsunami had ravaged the surrounding area. Or in 2006, when a couple of fishermen accidentally drifted into the waters near North Sentinel Island while poaching a fish, and the Sentinelese ended up unaliving them and burying their bodies on the beach. There has only ever been one instance when the Sentinelese people didn't react aggressively to a group of visitors landing on their shores. This was on January 4th, 1991, when Trilokanath Pandit, the director of the Anthropological Survey of India at the time, decided to visit the island with his team. He had already been studying the island and its natives for several years, so when his boat started approaching, he knew exactly how to signal the tribesmen that he and his team were friendly.
To overcome limited communication and uncertain vocabulary. Coconuts do not grow on these islands, but they are valued by the Sentinelese.
In the end, they managed to befriend the tribesmen by copying their mannerisms and using their unique language to communicate with them.
Laha! 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 Daga! Daga!
However, this event didn't end up having any lasting impact on the relationship with the Sentinelese. So, in 2012, an amendment was made to the Andaman and Nicobar Island Protections of the Aboriginal Tribes Regulation of 1956, making it illegal to get within 3 miles of North Sentinel Island. But despite those restrictions being in place, there have still been some idiots who have tried visiting the island, like John Allen Chow, a 26-year-old American Christian missionary who believed North Sentinel Island was Satan's last stronghold on Earth. So he made it his mission to bring people of North Sentinel Island towards Christianity. But as you might imagine, all of his attempts ended in complete disaster. He was forced to retreat twice and even had to swim a mile to safety after his second failed attempt. Despite all this, he tried to fulfill his mission a third time on November 16, 2018, and ended up losing his life. In the days following his death, several news outlets picked up on his story, broadcasting the risks of trying to contact an uncontactable tribe and the danger it posed to both the people trying to visit the island and the local tribesmen. But of course, these warnings would land on deaf ears in Mikhailo's case, who, despite all the danger, chose North Sentinel Island as the next destination for his thrill-seeking vlogs, and eventually ended up paying the price for his decision. It all started in October 2024, when Mikhailo decided to take a trip from the United States to Port Blair, just like John Allen had. He got his hands on an inflatable kayak soon after landing on the island, and planned to use it to make a solo journey to the island. However, before his kayak could even hit the water, the staff of the hotel in which he was staying intervened, threatening to call the police if he left for the island, which probably ended up saving Mikhailo's life, since not only would the kayak have easily deflated if the Sentinelese decided to start showering it with arrows, the journey itself would have been extremely difficult, especially if the waves were even slightly rougher than normal. Fortunately, he listened to the staff at that moment and decided to fly back to the States almost immediately, but his obsession with going viral soon buried any fears he might have had about what awaited him on the island. So he decided to try a second time in January 2025. and made the trip from the US to Port Blair once again. However, this time he had a slightly different plan. Instead of an inflatable kayak, he brought an inflatable motorboat with him. The only problem was, this motorboat was missing a key component, the motor. So Mikhailo started reaching out to local mechanics and engineers in Port Blair, asking them to help attach a motor to his boat, and he found someone who could do it almost immediately. However, Mikhailo wasn't one to sit around and wait, so he decided to visit yet another indigenous tribe while the motor was being constructed. He hitched a ride to the Baratang Islands, located approximately 90 miles north of Port Blair, and successfully made contact with the native Jarara tribe. But here's the kicker. He ended up recording his interactions with the tribe, which, as it turns out, is also illegal under Indian law. He eventually returned back to Port Blair on March 26, 2025, and by this time, the motor for his boat was ready and attached. After spending a few days studying routes and monitoring tides, Mikhailo finally left for North Sentinel Island at approximately 1 AM on March 29. And surprisingly, the journey itself went smoothly. Not only did he have to contend with less Coast Guard patrols, since he'd left from the nearby Kumadera beach, and not the more heavily patrolled beach in Port Blair, the waters were also incredibly calm throughout the trip. In fact, he managed to arrive in North Sentinel Island's vicinity around 10 AM, which is way earlier than he'd imagined. However, upon his arrival, he would be greeted with absolute silence, since there were absolutely no Sentinelese on the beach awaiting his arrival like he'd imagined, which in reality was incredibly lucky, because if they were present, it's more than likely they'd have started firing arrows at him by this point. Still, as he continued inching closer, he started getting more frustrated, resulting in him doing the most brain-dead thing ever, and using a whistle to alert the Sentinelese to his presence. He whistled for over an hour, but luckily received no response from the Sentinelese, all while slowly approaching the beach. And when he finally arrived, he found the beach and the nearby forest just as deserted as it looked from his boat. So he spent the next hour recording the deserted beach and collecting sand samples to take back with him before engaging in his most despicable act yet, leaving a half-empty can of Diet Coke and a coconut on the beach as an offering to the tribe, knowing full well that the drink he'd already drank from probably contains pathogens that could possibly wipe out the entire tribe if even one member decided to drink it. As a commenter rightly states, "This guy is a dummy. Putting an entire civilization/heritage at risk for a couple of years, your values are truly mind-boggling." After leaving the can of Coke, he made the only sane decision of this entire trip and left the island on the same boat he arrived on, happy that he managed to escape without getting offed. However, little did he know, the real consequences were waiting for him back at Port Blair. You see, while he was returning to Kumadera Beach at around 7 PM that same day, two fishermen on the coast noticed his boat. They quickly alerted the local authorities about where they suspected Mikhailo was coming from, resulting in police finding and arresting him a couple of days later on March 31st. They ended up confiscating his GoPro with all of the footage on the island, and launched a full criminal investigation into Mikhailo's actions. In other words, Mikhailo could face up to 5 or even 8 years in prison for his crimes if convicted. Now, it's important to note that he hasn't been charged yet, but given the recent trend of foreign governments not letting American nuisance creators get away with whatever they want, there's a good chance he won't be coming home anytime soon. But even if he somehow manages to escape the charges, there's one thing for sure. Mikhailo's already blown any shot he had at becoming a YouTuber, ending his career before it could even start, and he has no one to blame for his own failure but himself. He had the opportunity to stop chasing this incredibly dumb adventure in October 2024 when he got caught the first time. However, his need for clout didn't let him abandon the idea, and now he could be facing serious prison time for his actions, and that too in a foreign country, all because he was too stubborn to just accept the idiocy of his plan. But dangerous travel content is only one way YouTubers turn reckless decisions into content. I want you to imagine the worst thing a creator could do for a chance at going viral. Is it humiliating other people in public for attention? Is it endangering the lives of other people for views? Or is it borderline torturing your significant other for extra stream donations? Sadly, some YouTubers were so desperate for clout that even horrific acts like this barely fazed them. That is until it landed them in prison for years. Throughout his YouTube career, Vitaly Vitaly has always used other people's discomfort, shock, or annoyance as the main substance of his content. From his early days of pranking innocent bystanders for content to becoming a self-proclaimed predator catcher, Vitaly made it his entire personality to create viral content at everyone else's expense. While this sort of behavior has allowed Vitaly to gain over 10 million subscribers, it has also earned him several nights behind bars. Between 2014 and 2020, Vitaly was arrested for crimes like trespassing on the Hollywood sign, streaking during the 2014 World Cup, and illegally climbing the Great Pyramids.
Guys, I will explain in the next video what happened to me, but I just wanted to let you know, live your dreams to the fullest. It's your life, your choice. Do whatever you want. I don't want to curse because I'm in the Holy Land. I love you so much, world. Thank you, universe. Thank you, Mother Nature, for bringing me to this incredible life. Stop the war. Stop the hate. We're all equal. Thank you so much for watching.
Despite the damage to his reputation and criminal record, Vitaly rationalized that these harebrained antics were worth it since he was making money and racking up viewership. In his mind, since no one else was getting hurt, he could harass people in whatever manner he pleased. After all, the worst that could happen was another stop in jail that he'd immediately post bail for. It wasn't until Vitaly's wild antics left an innocent woman severely injured that he began to realize actions have consequences.
You know me?
No, I don't know you. No, I know, but I don't know you.
You heard about me?
No.
Okay, so I'm super, I want to try to tell you this. First of all, I don't know why I wanted to be what attack this girl for no reason. No one's gonna forgive me about this. I ruined my whole life and the whole thing.
What do you mean? What do you mean you ruined your whole life?
I attacked this girl for no reason. I ruined my life because I just want to die.
No, don't go there. What do you do for a living?
I do for a living. I'm so successful. I'm famous.
What do you do?
Huh?
What do you do?
I got 10. You remember the Miami? You remember the so in 2012?
Yeah.
You remember the guy who dressed up as zombie chases the guys in the hood?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm famous. I have 10 million subscribers on YouTube around Vitaly. Uncensored.
Following this incident, Vitaly's career would never be the same again. The majority of his fans lost faith in him, and his attempts to carve out a new path for himself by streaming on Kick only caused more controversy, as his predator hunting content began to put people in harm's way. At this point, Vitaly was faced with a critical choice. Either stop pranks entirely and try something different, or put a new spin on his existing content. Picking the right option guaranteed him a fresh start and a way to put the past behind him. Sadly, Vitaly didn't make that choice. By the 27th of March 2025, Vitaly moved to the Philippines with the hope of reviving his streaming career by becoming a travel vlogger. At first, it seemed like Vitaly had moved away from his trademark tomfoolery, as he created content focused on helping others and exploring the beauty of the Philippines.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this was only a temporary phase. During a subsequent stream titled Vitaly Disturbing the Peace in Philippines, Vitaly reverted to his old ways.
Excuse me, madam, I'm gonna rob you if you keep walking away. I want to give you money. No? Okay. Okay, because you got a COVID mask, you liberal. Go get your vaccine. I was trying to give you money, but all right. Trying to be nicer. You... No, yeah.
From threatening everyday citizens to stealing from law enforcement, Vitaly wasn't going to spare anyone during his unhinged rampage. If it got viewers to engage with his stream, then Vitaly was willing to do it. After all, the worst that could come out of it was a mild warning or another brief stay in a cushy cell, right?
I love this IRL, man. This is my new
Just need to find a whole bunch of clippers, because from the clips from today, they would be probably all over the net already. But anyways, I got my family, which is you guys, and we're good. That's all I need.
Unfortunately for Vitaly, his crimes weren't going to be overlooked this time. In the coming days, Filipino law enforcement would not only apprehend Vitaly, but parade him on national news.
Secretary John Vic Remulla will now make a statement.
Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat. Ito ay tungkol kay Vitaly.
Initially, Vitaly assumed that he'd only be held for a few days and deported back to America or his home country, Russia, but law enforcement had other plans. Due to Vitaly's lack of remorse and disrespect for their country, the Interior Secretary, John Vic Remulla, decided to make an example out of him, with charges like unjust vexations and attempted theft leveled against him. Vitaly is looking at more than a year in prison if convicted. In addition, it seems Vitaly's actions have forced lawmakers in the Philippines to reconsider how vloggers operate in public.
Now we have information that he may indeed be changing the law. And how did he change the law? Well, we know that with nuisance streamers, recording others is a big issue. And we now have, and this is courtesy of GMA, an update from the National Privacy Commission of the Philippines saying vloggers must blur bystanders in posts under new NPC guidelines.
While there hasn't been any concrete news on court proceedings, rumors are going around that he might not face the full brunt of the law and possibly will be released.
The status is he has been charged, or he was indicted on 3 charges of unjust vexation, 3 counts of unjust vexation. Now, in my previous videos, we've gone over what that is in terms of a criminal violation in the Philippines, which can carry some time and some criminal punishment. And he's still currently in the Philippines. He's still currently behind bars. He's not free to go as of yet. However, and I put many asterisks on this, there has been some unconfirmed speculation, some rumors that have not been confirmed by any official channels, that some witnesses may not testify in his trial and some charges may be dropped.
Even though Vitaly might be able to regain his freedom at some point, for now he's in a living hell, and his physical transformation reflects that. He'll have to show remorse for his actions and learn not to put others in danger for views. A lesson that train enthusiast Zachary Hertzler had to learn the hard way. Zachary is the type of kid who could dedicate the majority of his free time to discussing and spotting any train that goes through his home state of Nebraska. On his now deleted YouTube channel, Capital City Rail Productions, Zachary uploaded dozens of documentary-style videos detailing the condition, utility, and history of various locomotives. However, documenting trains wasn't enough for Zachary, as he soon found other ways to spice up his content. By the 21st of April 2024, Zachary uploaded what he considered his most insane video yet, and gave it the graphic title of Loaded BNSF Arbor Collides and Derails in Bennett.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. I would like to take the time to set the stage for the fateful incident that we will be discussing today. On Sunday, April 21st, just after 7 p.m., a empty Arbor coal train was heading back from the Nebraska City power plant. As it passed through Bennett, it had a defective coal car that it needed to be taken out of the train. The crew decides to place it in the rip track just inside of Bennett, going across the main road, between the grain elevator and the main railroad crossing. The crew did this and set a switch in a manner that they can park the car, set up a portable derailleur, and then continue their journey. Unbeknownst to them, they completely neglected to reset the switch to its original position.
Zachary went on to explain how he spotted the poorly set switch on his way from work and questioned why the crew made such a dangerous oversight. However, instead of calling for help and averting the disaster, he would set up his camera to film the ordeal.
God! Oh my god, are they okay? Oh my god.
As soon as the video was uploaded, viewers immediately deduced that Zachary must have had something to do with the incident. with comments reading, "You are responsible for derailing this train and you will go to jail for doing so. This kid just ruined his whole life. He could have gotten the crew seriously hurt or killed. You gotta wonder what was going on in his head." And I've heard of foamers messing with switches and climbing on units, but I've never heard of someone intentionally causing a derailment for YouTube views. In his next upload, Zachary attempted to wave off these accusations by claiming he had no idea how the switch could have been set in the wrong position.
Before we begin today's video, I just wanted to say something about the comments that I've been getting on my BNSF Arbor derailment video, on how that the empty Arbor could not have placed the defective car into the rip track and then proceed on its journey, when they would have to reset the switch and hook up to at least the rear DPUs. I don't actually know exactly what happened there, because I was thinking the exact same thing as all of you guys, to be 100% honest. But I was just saying what the BNSF police officer told me. I don't know what the FRA has come out with yet, but I just wanted to clear out the air with that, so that way you all know. I'm just restating what the BNSF police told me and what a couple of rail workers told me. I have seen comments saying that it could have picked the point on the switch, which I have seen videos online of that happening.
Within the next several weeks, Zachary's YouTube channel was terminated and the accusations leveled against him would prove to be correct. After a brief investigation, law enforcement pinned Zachary as the primary suspect and charged him with 2 counts of criminal mischief for the over $300,000 in damages done to the train. Ironically, the primary piece of evidence used against him was the video uploaded to YouTube following the crash, as well as surveillance footage that showed him tampering with the railroad switch. Zachary was initially going to be tried as a teenager, but a motion filed by the prosecution elevated him to an adult status. The case is still in court, as the judge is determining an appropriate sentence for such crimes. However, his lawyers are seeking a less harsh punishment due to his clean record up to this point, although it might prove difficult, since Zachary's video is the key piece of evidence used against him in court, a sorry fate that he shares with the creator Mikhailo Viktorovich Polyakov. For YouTube travel vlogger Mikhailo Viktorovich Polyakov, aka Neo-Orientalist, where he'd be going next has always been his top priority. From visiting remote areas in Afghanistan to interacting with the Taliban, Polyakov made it his mission to explore places and cultures that other creators wouldn't dare to travel to.
So you have opinions on Donald Trump?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I have been seeing the competition of
the debate.
The competition of Donald Trump and president, the current president of USA,
Biden.
Whilst Polyakov's obsession with dangerous places allowed him to garner an audience of 4,000 subscribers, it sadly led him to think it was a good idea to disturb one of the last remote tribes on Earth for a YouTube video. On the 29th of March 2025, Polyakov would set sail from Komadera Beach, India, to the highly restricted and isolated North Sentinel Island, home of the Sentinelese tribe. Due to the tribe's isolation from humanity for thousands of years and 2 previous fatal attempts of making contact, the Indian government designated it as a protected area. No one was allowed on or within 5 nautical miles of the island. However, that didn't stop Polyakov from making the 3rd attempt to make contact with the Sentinelese. Upon arriving on the island, Polyakov used a whistle to attract the attention of the tribe, but didn't interact with them directly. Instead, he opted to leave them an offering of a half-drunk Diet Coke and a coconut. Although, before he left, Polyakov made sure to take a few souvenirs. Specifically, he took some sand samples as well as footage of the island and its inhabitants. Unfortunately for Polyakov, he wouldn't get very far with said souvenirs, as Indian law enforcement apprehended him the moment he made it back to the mainland.
An American YouTuber has been arrested for illegally entering a prohibited area in India and trying to make contact with a reclusive tribe that inhabits a remote island in the Bay of Bengal. The Indian government says his actions pose a serious threat to the safety and well-being of the tribe, whose contact with outsiders is prohibited by law, in order to protect the indigenous way of life.
According to the police, Polyakov's excuse for disturbing the island was that he was in search of good content, and figured the indigenous tribe was a good place to start. This was not only selfish, but also incredibly reckless. Polyakov's presence on the island may expose the Sentinelese to a whole host of diseases and infections that their immune system has zero experience fighting. As a result, the Indian government made it a top priority to make an example out of him. They started by holding him in a police custody for 14 days, and later charged him with entering a restricted area, an offense that could land him 5 years in prison. As of this recording, there hasn't been any news regarding Polyakov's court proceedings. However, considering the severity and publicity of his actions, it's safe to say Polyakov will be getting a lot more than just a slap on the wrist. While having a clean record could get Polyakov out of serious jail time, creators like Edward Gonzalez and Roland Cepeda Jr. of the My House is Dirty YouTube channel would never be afforded the same luxury in court, especially not after spending most of their adult lives committing crimes on camera. If it's something that could either annoy, disturb, or disgust people in public, then Edward and Roland would have probably filmed themselves doing it.
Y'all don't want to sign for the packages?
Set them right there.
No, I'm saying, do you want to sign for them?
Let me see packages.
Do you want to sign
Wait a
for
minute,
them?
let me see packages.
You're grabbing on the stuff.
Hold on.
You're going to break it.
I can grab whatever the hell I want if it's mine. There's nothing in it.
It's not yours.
You guys are fake. Get out of here.
Don't touch
Jeff, get your guns, Jeff.
Get the guns.
Get out. Get out of here. We're calling the police right now.
You going to shoot?
Get out. No, you guys are not even real UPS. Leave the box out.
It's my property.
It's not your property. You don't work for UPS.
So how is it your property?
You're on my bullshit.
Now.
Hush!
Get
Shut
out.
your trap! Shut your trap! Shut your trap, jackass!
Get out.
For nearly a decade, this duo has terrorized anyone they encountered in public and garnered almost 400,000 subscribers before having their accounts terminated. From pretending to be Walmart employees and harassing customers, to staging public confrontations, these two basically invented the playbook for modern nuisance streamers. One of their earliest and most memorable public escapades was obstructing a whole highway to play basketball.
I think you made it. Come on, hurry up. Right here, right away, you know what I'm saying? Oh, nah, there you go with it. There you go with it. Look, right here, broad daylight, know what I'm saying? Traffic out here, jam-packed, this stupid as oh!
While the video garnered hundreds of thousands of views, it also earned them several months in prison and over $100,000 in fines, as police used the video to identify them for crimes previously committed.
Well, one of those two freeway basketballers was in court today, but he wasn't facing any charges related to that viral incident. Let's show you some of that new video we just got of 28-year-old Roland Cepeda, who is charged with allegedly stealing 2 expensive cameras in February. The judge denied him bond today, and you may remember Cepeda along with 25-year-old Edward Gonzalez in a viral video holding up traffic on the Gulf Freeway feeder and Broadway, where they were playing some pickup basketball with a child's hoop. Both of them recently turned themselves in on those obstruction charges. And take a look here at Gonzalez. He's facing separate theft charges for allegedly stealing 36 cameras from an Apple store at the Memorial City Mall I should say 36 headphones, from an Apple store at the Memorial City Mall back in April.
Sadly, this wasn't enough to dissuade them from repeating this type of behavior for views. In the preceding years, Edward and Roland would be arrested multiple times during their quest for clout, with a post reading, "I'm thankful for God blessing me with my freedom because some guys I was in the pen with aren't coming home for a long time." Even though they've continued to create inflammatory content, most social media platforms such as YouTube have done a good job of deleting their accounts as soon as new ones are made. However, bans like that wouldn't come as quickly for toxic YouTubers like Reflay, who built their career on abusing their partner. To describe Reflay, aka Stanislav Rechinak, as a talentless creator would be a gross understatement. Most of his content consists of him and friends engaging in various dangerous activities or abusing illicit substances on stream.
Bravo! Bravo!
This controversial type of content is often classified as trash streaming, and due to its popularity in certain parts of Europe, it attracts degenerate individuals looking for an easy payday. In Reflay's case, putting himself in harm's way for chat donations is the standard, but there were occasions where he turned to abusing his pregnant girlfriend, Valentina, to entertain the chat. On the 20th of December 2020, Reflay went live as usual and spent the first several minutes engaging with his viewers like a normal live streamer.
Так, еще не задонили.
However, things would take a very dark turn when someone in the chat donated $1,000 and asked Reflay to beat up his girlfriend and lock her out of their apartment. Mind you, it was several degrees below zero outside, and hypothermia can set in within just a few minutes. Blinded by money, Reflay almost immediately went to fulfill the request, but went the extra mile to take off her jacket and dump water all over her. For the next several minutes, Valentina could be heard banging on the door and screaming to be let back in. Reflay would not answer. It wasn't until her pleas for help went silent that Reflay came to her aid, but it was too late.
Валя, Зая, я переживаю, ты живая, нет? Блядь. Бля, а как мне вызвать скорую помощь? Пиздец, блядь, ребята, блядь. Я вам отвечаю, мне кажется, у нее нет даже сердцебиения, Валь. Валь, ты живая, заяц мой? Ну ты чего? Валь, ты живая, нет? Блядь, ты как мертвая, блядь, Валь.
Despite the horrific nature of what just happened, Reflay would continue the stream for another 2 hours. In the coming days, Reflay was arrested, and almost all of his social media accounts were terminated. With the concrete video evidence he broadcasted, it didn't take much work for prosecutors to convince the court to give a guilty verdict and sentence Reflay to 6 years in prison. Although, some would say that's not enough time for how careless he was with the lives of others, a sentiment that also applies to a reckless daredevil like Squeeze Benz. For a while, Squeeze Benz, real name Antonio Ginestri, felt untouchable. Week after week, he and his friends would stream themselves speeding through busy New York traffic while evading law enforcement. No matter how packed the highway was or how many officers showed up, Antonio's skills behind the wheel were more than enough to escape getting captured. Even when the chase got really heated, he still found the time to taunt his pursuers. According to Antonio, his driving skills developed from being around cars and driving since he was 9 years old. From there, he gradually perfected his technique by making driving videos. Eventually, he acquired a sports car of his own and decided it would be fun to record his joyrides.
Scale of 1 to 10, how wanted would you say you are?
Probably a 10, nobody's more wanted than me.
Really?
Yeah.
That's insane.
It started like about a year ago. I got my first Benz and I always did like little driving videos and I never really took it to nothing. And then my boy started saying like, you know, mad people are blowing up off this. And I was just like, you know, that's just how it started.
I'm curious, like you have a Lamborghini, at one point a Mercedes-Benz, I'm sure you go through a lot of different cars. Are you going on tour and just driving people's cars all crazy? You guys getting your own cars? Like, tell me about that.
I had my own car for a bit, but then I changed it up because I did get chased a lot. So I just realized, like, you know, doing long-term rentals is just a way better route. And then obviously I don't tell these guys I'm speed best.
Did you ever get blown up by the tour people asking what the hell happened?
They do ask, and then like I kind of just like, you know, I'm just driving the car, you know what I mean?
You mix danger, but there's also other people at risk when you do that. Innocent civilians. So what do you think about the element of danger for that?
I've been doing this since like real shit since I was 9. I used to take my dad's car out and I used to just bug out. I've been doing this for so long now that I feel like I did have some professional at it. Like, you know, niggas know like that's how I drive. There's been incidents where I've gone out with people and they try keeping up with me and they've crashed.
As you might expect, thrill-seeking antics like these gained immense attention online. Videos of Antonio ripping through traffic garnered millions of views and hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Viewers were drawn into the the image of an anonymous rebel taking exotic sports cars off the track and into the streets to pull off spectacular but dangerous stunts at high speeds. Every second Antonio was on the road was another second that could end in disaster, and the audience was just waiting for that inevitable moment. However, despite the danger, some people still wanted front row seats to the action. While Antonio was able to flee the scene this time, it wouldn't be long before the law closed in on him for good. By May 2024, NYPD's Auto Crimes Manhattan unit was able to link one of Antonio's BMWs to social media posts to track him down. Once arrested, officers also linked him to various robberies that took place months prior. However, Antonio would only spend a few months in jail before being released on bail. As of this upload, his case is still pending, and only time will tell if he'll face the full extent of the law for his crimes. To individuals like these, clout and virality are far more important than the lives and safety of the people around them. It doesn't matter who they have to hurt, embarrass, or put in a dangerous situation, as long as it gets them attention. You know what they say, clout is one hell of a drug, but you can only pray that rehabilitation behind bars would be enough to change that. And when creators keep treating real-world consequences like a thumbnail opportunity, the content can spiral into something even uglier.
Matan Evan became an internet sensation after he hijacked a speech at the 2022 Game Awards.
I think I want to nominate this award to my Reformed Orthodox Rabbi Bill Clinton. Thank you, everybody.
That moment went viral and racked up millions of views, but soon after, Matan's popularity took a downhill turn, and his name disappeared from the mainstream media. This left people wondering what on earth happened to the Bill Clinton kid, and why did he fall off so hard? We'll explore how the Bill Clinton kid got famous, and what exactly happened to him afterwards. Although Matan blew up in 2023, his online presence started way earlier than one might expect. Back in 2019, the protests in Hong Kong were at an all-time high. Authorities introduced harsh bills that compromised democratic freedom, and in response, fierce protests were held against them. People all over social media were showing support for Hong Kong, including a 12-year-old kid named Matan Evan. Matan was a longtime supporter of the cause and wanted to make a special statement for Hong Kong. In October 2019, Matan was caught on screen in an NBA game waving a shirt that said, "Fight for freedom, stand with Hong Kong," before the camera quickly panned away from him. Just a few days later, on October 23rd, esports journalist Rod Breslau tweeted about it, and the post blew up, getting over 223,000 likes. However, rumors began spreading that Matan had been kicked out of the game, but these were quickly dispelled in a tweet by Rod that said, "Also, Matan was never kicked out and will be back in their seats next game, but likely never to be put on the Jumbotron again." Rod also suggested Matan should go to BlizzCon, and soon people were hoping to see him protest there too. Now, you might be wondering why. Well, because in the same month of October 2019, Blizzard, the game company, banned esports gamer Blitzchung for a year just because he spoke out in support of the Hong Kong protesters. So the demand was there, and Matan made sure he delivered. Shortly after his appearance on the NBA Jumbotron, Matan tweeted a video on November 3rd, 2019, showing himself at the World of Warcraft panel shouting "Free Hong Kong."
Character we know is connected. Free Hong Kong! Sounds good. Alright, thank you.
The tweet read, "I came to BlizzCon 19 to make a point. My point has been proven. I ran up on the Q&A panel and yelled 'Free Hong Kong.' Now remember to keep fighting for basic human rights." Matan's actions quickly drew mainstream media attention, leading to numerous interviews where he explained his strong stance on Hong Kong.
So I had heard about the movement before the Clipper game, and I decided that, I should try to do something, and I didn't know exactly what I was going to do. So it was kind of just in the moment.
He even appeared on InfoWars twice, where Owen Troyer praised his resilience and confidence.
Man, I'm telling you, there are grown men who don't have the courage to do what you did and step out on that in front of that panel, and you just seem fearless. Like there's no qualms. Like you don't even It's like you didn't even question it.
Interestingly, Matan was very aware of all the attention he was getting online, so he used it to grow his presence. By January 2020, his channel had 13,000 subscribers, and he was posting daily videos about Hong Kong. Fast forward to 2021, and Matan had around 38,000 subscribers on YouTube. However, it was clear he had stopped posting regularly, and his channel became largely inactive. After months of being silent, Matan posted on Twitter on June 15, 2021, explaining that he'd stopped posting about Hong Kong because there simply wasn't much to post about it. He also mentioned in the tweet that he would start posting again soon, and fans were eager to see what he'd post next, with commenters stating, "Miss you so much, Matan. Thank you for always supporting Hong Kong and remembering us here," as well as, "Thank you, Matan. Happy to know new updates about you." However, his content after that tweet had nothing to do with Hong Kong. A prime example of this shift took place the following year during the Game Awards on December 8, 2022. During this event, as the Elden Ring team accepted their Game of the Year award, a random young guy was hanging around in the background, looking completely out of place.
Supported these titles, and we create the games we want to create and do our best because of you. Thank you so much.
That young guy was Matan Evan. He grabbed the mic and spoke with a strange accent, stating,
Real quick, I want to thank everybody and say that I think I want to nominate this award to my Reformed Orthodox Rabbi Bill Clinton. Thank you, everybody.
It seemed like Matan had shifted from his usual serious political content to embracing more of an internet troll persona. After the show, Matan posted a tweet stating, "Today there is a lot of talk and speculation. More information will be released on all fronts sooner than later." This tweet received over 22,000 likes and was retweeted thousands of times. Naturally, the whole incident went viral, and mainstream media outlets like Vice dove into Matan's online persona and past, which sparked a ton of conspiracy theories, with a headline reading, "The kid who crashed the Game Awards was on InfoWars when he was 12. Some even went as far as to accuse him of being anti-Semitic, like this Vice article from December 9, 2022, that claimed his Yeezys were proof of it, since Kanye West, who made Yeezys, had, quote, gone on several anti-Semitic rants recently. However, one of the most notable articles covering the situation was a write-up by Polygon, which included an interview with Matan. In the article, Polygon mentioned that Matan stayed in his troll character throughout the entire interview. It stated, "When reached by phone on Friday, Evan refused to break character and dodged questions about everything, from his political leanings to the circumstances of his removal from the Game Awards stage." Polygon also mentioned that Matan claimed he was Jewish, and that his comments regarding Bill Clinton weren't anti-Semitic or tied to any far-right views. However, despite saying this, Matan often wore Yeezys and rocked a Jesus King hat, and because of his constant trolling, people thought he was lying. But if you dig deeper, it looks like his claim to being Jewish was legit, with a tweet from Jason Schreier stating, "Just spoke to the guy who interrupted the Game Awards. He says his name is Matan and that he is 15 years old. Some thought his speech was an anti-Semitic dog whistle, but he is almost certainly a Jewish prankster. He understood a question I asked in Hebrew, then pretended he didn't." All of this constant drama marked a clear shift from Matan's early days as a young activist fighting for human rights. Matan had evolved, and his new strategy was to grab attention with edgy statements and a provocative persona. For instance, in an interview with Neon Sniper Panda on December the 11th, 2022, Matan joked about saying,
One of the comments, somebody asking if you, the host here, is cool with the Nazi salute, because I went like this. I wasn't doing a Nazi salute. I was talking about meeting Bill Clinton and touching the top of his head.
He's Jewish, y'all.
I'm Jewish.
Don't be fucking weird.
Viewers absolutely loved his simultaneously serious and comedic takes, with comments stating, "True trolling is hard for most people to understand. Good job." As well as, "Matan is clearly very intelligent. It's not just about memes." Just 3 days later, he posted another video continuing his political commentaries in a podcast with Destiny.
You were disagreeing that there's actually, a group of people controlling all of the governments all over the world.
Yeah, or like if you believe that, I feel like you probably need some exceptional evidence to prove that, yeah.
Right, I feel for the most part it can kind of be proven, and I feel like using, common sense and logic, it should be very easy to prove.
In another video posted on December 17th, 2022, Matan is seen having a heated discussion with some OF models. Throughout the conversation, he repeatedly challenges their intellect, saying,
I didn't know that I was going to be talking to a bunch of illiterate people who don't know how to read.
Literally 15. What do you know?
You know how to read?
Yes, I do know how to read.
Name 10 books.
Are you serious?
Yes, 100%. Name 10 books.
Well, I read Game of Thrones. I'm obsessed with the Twilight series. Game of Thrones, the series?
What's the book called? It's not called Game of Thrones.
This video blew up, garnering over 3 million views, and people in the comments were backing Matan all the way, with comments reading, "Scary how a child is wiser than a bunch of adults. I'm starting to think that this kid is the future of our society. He's got more common sense than most adults." As well as, "Imagine a group of adults trying to bully a 15-year-old and failing." So he kept the momentum going, making more content with controversial creators like Sneeko.
You're always like this.
Yeah, this I never actually change facial expressions. You know, very rarely if something surprising happens, I'll go. But just for the most part, I stay like this. And a lot of people think that I'm a troll, but I'm not. And even if I was spreading good messages, then the outcome is positive for everybody.
Matan also started posting short-form content on TikTok, where he currently has over 1.2 million followers. His content mainly features clips from his controversial podcasts and interviews, as well as videos of him annoying random people in public.
Excuse me. Are you interested in boxing me today? I'm trying to start fight with random people. Are you interested? I'm working right now, sorry. I want to fight you. I want to knock you out. You know, a lot of people have been asking what I've been doing to help, you know, the homeless community. Today I'm going to be giving them fake $100 bills. And a lot of people would ask, how is that actually helpful? You know, today, here's the money. Get the hell out of here.
However, it wasn't just strangers Matan would go after. Matan soon started to follow and borderline harass popular creators on the internet. One of the most notable of these instances was in February 2023, when Matan tried to crash Twitch streamers XQC and Kaisnat's trip to Universal Studios.
Yo, I've seen him before. How you doing? What the hell? What's going on?
You're the most random person. You're not with us. You're not with us, but I've definitely seen you before.
How you doing today? I'm doing good.
No. You're not with us. I'm not even about to. Yeah, he recording. You recording. You're not with us. Yo, Cuddy, don't let him follow us. Yeah. I don't got nothing.
It was obvious from the video that Matan wasn't welcome and that his weird behavior made them really uncomfortable, but Matan still kept following the two streamers and even disguised himself as a fan to try and get a picture with them. Unsurprisingly, this got him quickly kicked out by security.
Whoa, bro, stop doing that, bro. Stop doing that, bro. You trying to be low. Stop doing that. Keep doing that, bro. Like, you're not low. Come on, you ain't being mad annoying. Why you disturbing niggas?
But he didn't stop there. Just a month later, in April 2023, Matan posted a video of himself calling out wrestlers during their matches at WrestleMania 39.
Hey, Michael, you gotta get up. Michael, you gotta stop crawling on the floor. Michael, you gotta stop crawling.
It was deliberately stirring up controversy everywhere he went, because soon after, Matan found himself in another altercation, this time with Hassan Piker, the left-wing Twitch streamer and YouTuber better known as Hassan Abi. For context, their feud took place in summer of 2023, during the Writers Guild of America strike. Writers were pushing for better pay, protections against AI, and other crucial demands. In solidarity with the WGA, Hassan was on the front lines of the protest, picketing alongside them.
We're here at Netflix headquarters here on the corner of Sunset and Vine, and what are we doing here today, Adam?
That's when Matan approached Hassan and started mocking him while he was protesting. He also uploaded a video of the encounter on Twitter, which blew up and racked over 26 million views. During the video, you can clearly see that Hassan is getting annoyed.
What's going on? How you guys doing? We love landlords. We're here to protest against the landlords and the unions. We love them.
The more you do that, and the more you end up hurting.
You end up hurting.
The more you end up hurting capital.
We love landlords. We love them.
In response, Hassan quote retweeted the video and said, never mind, maybe children do deserve the coal mines. After some back and forth between them, Matan was determined to get the last word and responded by stating, "You tried to scare me by getting in my face, then you shoved a pole at me like a little bitch. I asked if you were threatening me because of how pathetic you look. There's a reason your cameraman panned away." This tweet ended up gaining over 14 million views, and just as Matan hoped, the drama grabbed everyone's attention online. Even mainstream media picked up the story, with Kotaku publishing an article about it on May 5th, 2023, headlining "Twitch streamer Hassan Piker trolled by Game Awards showcrasher." And as you'd expect from Matan, he jumped on Twitter to milk this opportunity. The very next day, Matan tweeted, "Kotaku reported I had legal counsel on our call today about Hassan. They're talking about my buddy Mikol, who was making Minecraft spider noises. He was determined to keep eyeballs on him, And so 4 days later, on the 10th of May 2023, when Hassan tweeted that he was in the UK, Matan responded with the video from inside a plane, captioned, "See you soon, brother." However, despite his numerous controversies, Matan was still mostly known as the Bill Clinton kid who crashed the stage at the 2022 Game Awards. So when the 2023 Game Awards rolled around, Matan let everyone know who was planning to attend by tweeting about it, reading, "See you tomorrow, Jeff." But this time, Jeff Keighley made it clear that security would be tight, leaving no chance for any slip-ups. And that's exactly what happened. Matan's tweet came back to bite him when he was immediately and permanently banned from attending the Game Awards. He reacted to this ban on Twitter saying, "Why would they trespass me? I can't believe this." It's safe to say that Matan is a well-known internet meme. However, his antics now go way beyond just being meme-worthy. Some might even describe his new form of divisive content as pure rage bait. For instance, he tweeted a picture of him with the actor Simu Lee in February 2024, with the caption, "This asshole asked me for a photo." And while some may consider this as just a harmless tweet, Matan's YouTube videos are a completely different story. On the 29th of April 2024, Matan uploaded a video titled "Dominic Cruz on Fighting Sean O'Malley and Changing Genders." During the video, Matan and UFC commentator Dominic Cruz discuss whether women should be allowed to fight in the UFC.
Do you think women should be allowed to fight in UFC?
Oh yeah.
What if they're disabled?
Then have another disabled woman fighter.
Then Matan takes it a step further, asking Cruz an edgy question about a hypothetical fight between the light heavyweight fighter Jamahal Hill and a disabled woman.
One man and one disabled woman. The woman is a lightweight or bantamweight, and then it's a light heavyweight man, maybe Jamal Hill. He came on the podcast before, so he will be able to do a good one.
And if this wasn't questionable enough, on the 10th of June 2024, Matan interviewed Zerka in a video titled "Zerka Gets Confronted About HS Hockey Fight and Scamming Fans." During the video, Matan uses his troll humor to ask Zerka an awkward question.
So if you could just tell everybody, give them a little bit of an introduction if they don't know you.
I am Zerka. I am an influencer.
Influencer? What's that mean? That can mean lots of things.
I influence the youth to do the right thing.
To do the right thing? So you have like an online, people have seen you online before, all that one. You're not like just starting out. You've been on there for a while.
So here's his strategy in a nutshell. Matan takes the most explosive moments from his interviews and turns them into short rage bait clips. He does this because it works. In the last 365 days, his long-form videos have given him 7.2 million views, whereas his short clips have pulled an impressive 329 million views. However, despite all of this, Matan's channel has been struggling with subscriber and view counts ever since mid-2023. Since then, his monthly view counts have dropped by a whopping 90%, and his subscriber growth has slowed down significantly. This decline explains why Matan has been working so hard to rebuild his audience. His brash, impulsive content still shows he's figuring out his voice as a creator. As part of his trial and error, Matan has been drawing attention by joining several controversial podcast interviews.
Do you think that yellow face is okay?
No.
Because every time I go to Universal Studios, I see a lot of little yellow people with yellow face.
If they're minions, I think that's probably okay.
And it looks like his efforts are finally paying off. Matan's videos where he interviews online creators with his edgy humor are starting to click with a certain crowd. For example, he recently pulled in over 700,000 views on a video titled "Sam Hyde Hires 20 Indians to Destroy Matan's Podcast."
The more of them, there's more?
Oh, yeah.
What are you going to do with them after? Where are you going to go?
It's not my problem, it's LA's problem.
Matan Evan has had his 5 minutes of fame, and then some, constantly trying to stay relevant on the internet. While some may think is fading into obscurity, it seems he's slowly and steadily expanding his audience. It's smart of him to focus his videos within a specific niche, and it might only be a matter of time before Matan goes viral again. It's safe to say I'm excited to watch what he does with his career, as he genuinely seems like a talented and humorous person.
But some trolls do not just annoy people online, they take the act into the real world until the consequences become impossible to ignore.
It's rare for the entire internet to agree on something. But when it comes to Johnny Somali, everyone agrees that he deserves everything that's coming his way. And while there's no shortage of obnoxious clout chasers on the internet, like Jack Doherty or Neon, most of them stick to causing trouble in the US. Johnny Somali, on the other hand, has managed to become public enemy #1 in multiple countries across the globe. Over the last couple of years, he's done every heinous act you can think of, from harassing female cops in other countries.
Oh, you a bad bitch. I swear to God. You a bad bitch. I'll take you to dinner. I swear to God. I'll change your life. I'll change your life, baby.
And chasing cupcakes.
Take me to jail, police, come. Age ain't nothing but a number. You need an older man with some money. That's what you need. I really groom her. I'll really groom you. I swear to God.
To disrespecting a statue dedicated to victims of in World War II. And much, much more. Fortunately, karma has finally caught up with him, and there's nothing he can do to escape the consequences of his actions this time. However, to fully understand how he ended up here, we first need to start from the very beginning. Unfortunately, discussing his past is harder than it needs to be. Information surrounding Johnny Somali's origin is all over the place, and it doesn't help that he's one of the most insincere creators out there willing to make up lies without a second thought. For instance, while he has claimed to be a quote former child soldier and Somali pirate in the past, his real identity is of a 24-year-old Ramsey-colored Ismail who grew up in Scottsdale, Arizona. He graduated from Arizona State University with a degree in finance. More importantly, despite having Somali in his online name, he doesn't have any Somali heritage.
My dad is Ethiopian. My dad's Oromo. I never denied that. I never denied that I'm half Ethiopian, half Yemen.
So the fact that he's tarnishing the Somali name for no apparent reason has left people from the country outraged, with one person on Twitter writing, "Somalis are not known to act like this animal. Somali people are a very noble people and hard workers. Respectful human being, although he not Somali and just running around with the title Johnny Somali. I will still like to apologize to the Korean people that were hurt." That said, one thing we know for certain about Johnny Somali is that he's always dreamed of becoming a globe-trotting content creator.
You go to school for 4 years. You go work for 40 years. You end up in a cubicle with a suit on and a tie, getting the same salary as everybody else. Where's the mobility in life? I would rather take a risk and live a different life, you know what I mean? Live in different countries, meet new people. And that's why I kind of aspired to start my own business, and that's what I did. I ran a vape company for a while. I still run it now. And that kind of gives me the freedom and the income to pursue my passion, which has also always been content creation, but I've never had the time to do it, because it's either I was working, or it was either I was in school, or it was either, you know what I mean?
And while there's nothing wrong with chasing such a dream, it's how you go about it that truly matters. And as surprising as it may sound, Johnny actually started off on the right path. In early 2023, he visited Thailand and started uploading travel vlogs on YouTube. These videos were extremely tame and, let's just say, normal, especially compared to his more recent content. However, almost all of these were just basic edits of him walking around Thailand, trying local food, and partying. They lacked any real substance, and most viewers found them boring and uninspiring, resulting in his channel growing at a snail's pace. In May 2023, he had less than 5,000 subscribers despite uploading over 300 videos by that point. His dream of making it big was slipping further out of reach with each passing day. Something had to change. But instead of working on improving his content, like any other sane creator would do, he took inspiration from the obnoxious antics of Ice Poseidon.
People of Los Angeles, how are you? Don't mind us. I have a mental illness. If you come near me, you're gonna get mentally ill.
And came up with a new plan. A decision that would ultimately lead to him becoming the target of a nationwide manhunt. It all started with him leaving Thailand and flying to Japan to do IRL streaming on Kick, and the shift in his content style was clear from the moment he turned on his camera. On his very first day in the country, he got on a train and started harassing the person sitting next to him.
You know Hiroshima? You know Hiroshima? Nagasaki? You know. Why you do this? Pearl Harbor?
And when he didn't get the reaction he was looking for, he became even more annoying and started shouting at the top of his lungs.
Hiroshima, Nagasaki! Hiroshima, Nagasaki. You know what we do to you niggas? Hiroshima, Nagasaki. We destroy it. Because you don't know how to behave. Wallahi billahi wa tallahi. I swear to God. You do again, we're gonna do again. You understand?
He didn't stop until a Korean-American guy stepped in to defend the other passengers and finally shut him down.
You know. Why don't you sleep? What? Sleep alone, man. What do you mean? Where are you from? You know where I'm from?
Where are you from?
I'm from America.
You're from America?
Yes.
So am I.
You're from America?
Yeah, you're being obnoxious.
You know what we do to you?
What do you do?
We will do again.
Do what?
Hiroshima, Nagasaki. You understand?
Do you think I'm Japanese?
Where are you from?
I'm from America.
Where are you from? What's your name?
Texas, buddy.
However, before he had a chance to reflect on his actions, the clip of him harassing innocent Japanese people went viral on the internet. And while he received tons of backlash for single-handedly tarnishing the reputation of foreign tourists in Japan, with comments like, "As a black person who wants to go to Japan, this guy makes me so angry." Not to mention, he perpetuates the stereotypes of Westerners in general. And seeing how everyone wants to go to Japan now, the Japanese should be more strict with blacklisting individual tourists from entering their country if they behave like this. Like, he should have been immediately locked up and extradited for disturbing the public so badly. The attention also brought him thousands of new viewers, which was exactly what he wanted. Many people hoped that he would stop harassing others after achieving his goal of going viral. For Johnny, this was only the beginning. From there, he doubled down on being a public nuisance and started doing every obnoxious thing he could think of. From calling Japanese the Mulan language.
Yo, this shit is in Mulan language. What does it say? This shit is in Mulan language. What does it say?
To labeling Japanese people as NPCs.
Real NPC activity right now. It's hella NPCs out here. This is crazy. These are NPCs, guys. We with the NPCs right now, bro. I'm with the NPCs out here. I'm with the NPCs out here. Really with the NPCs.
Yeah, these are all NPCs, bro.
And even blasting racist music on a train.
Yo, what the? Yo, I'm so sorry.
All in hopes of going viral once again.
More haters is more views is more money. But you know what I say? I say the more haters is the more eyes watching, the more eyes watching is the more money, you know what I mean? Thank you for the publicity. I love all my haters, every single one of my haters. Thank you so much for watching, you know what I mean? I love every single one of my haters. Every single one of my haters. Every single one of my haters. I love every single one of you. Haters is my motivators, bro. The more haters, the better. The more viewers, the better. Thank you so much, guys.
During one of his streams, he saw the Japanese IRL streamer Meowko and ran up to her without a second thought.
You live right now? What you live on? What you live on?
I am live on Twitch.
Twitch?
Yeah.
I'm on. How many viewers you got?
I have like 2,000.
2,000?
Yep.
Now, this would have been totally fine under normal circumstances. However, Johnny was already banned from Twitch, and by approaching Meowko, he was putting her livelihood at risk. You see, Twitch doesn't allow streamers to show banned creators on their streams, and breaking this policy can result in a permanent channel ban. Fortunately, Meowko quickly realized who Johnny was and walked away. But instead of moving on with his day, he started cussing at her for trying to protect her online career.
And then turn around.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Get banned, bitch. Get banned, bitch. Get banned. You don't get banned. Fuck with me. You better walk away.
His rude remarks and confrontational behavior led to her breaking down in tears before ending the streaming.
I'm so sorry, guys. Today, I really wanted to have a really great stream.
She later expressed her frustration in a tweet, reading, "We worked quickly with Twitch staff to avoid having our account banned. I burst into tears because the taxi driver on the way back was so nice. I hope he leaves Japan soon. I felt helpless that I couldn't do anything, even though he was right in front of me. Thank you everyone for your concern." And while some people mocked her for overreacting, like this one person who wrote, "Playing victim, that guy didn't do much, what a crybaby," most were sympathetic to her experience, with replies like, "Glad to hear it. It's embarrassing this person is from the US. I hope they ban him from Japan," and "Sorry the guy harasses you and the people of Japan." More importantly, these instances highlighted just how comfortable Johnny was getting in harassing others for clout. He was pushing his luck, and the Japanese public wasn't about to let him get away with it. Unfortunately, they severely underestimated just how shameless he could be. You see, many people had been trying to put a stop to him since the day he started streaming in Japan. In fact, the same day his train clip went viral, a Japanese man tracked him down and showed up for a confrontation.
No problem. There's no problem. It's no problem. No. No, we good. Hey, we chill. So what? We good. We good.
But instead of getting physical or trying to intimidate Johnny, he simply wanted to talk and to make him realize the error of his ways.
Oh, cool, peace. Okay, so we have a peace or what?
Yeah, peace.
Peace, and then let's do a peace.
So, I want your reason. Why?
Somebody, okay. Somebody give me money.
No.
Somebody give me money, and they said, say it.
No.
So I said it on the train.
You say it?
Yeah. Somebody give me money.
Somebody?
You know, donation.
So who?
Somebody on YouTube and Twitch.
YouTube comment?
Yeah, YouTube comment, give me money.
No.
They say it.
No.
You understand?
Understood, but...
Right?
But it's not good.
He naively believed that a civil conversation would be enough to change Johnny's mind. but he couldn't have been more wrong. Johnny also got slapped by another Japanese man the very next day for his clown behavior on the train.
I hope nobody in the chat was saying weird. If I go back and whoa, what the?
But even that didn't faze him in the slightest. After seeing his refusal to back down, several popular Japanese YouTubers band together and pressed Johnny Somali about his deplorable actions.
Hey, never did this to any other IRL streamer.
What do you want to say? So what you did is something that is disrespectful for the whole Japanese community, and that is why Japan is really, really mad.
Don't tell me you are going to drop an atomic bomb on Japan. Okay? Okay. The Japanese don't think you are good.
They also made him apologize.
Apologize to the Japanese. Come on. Say. Okay. Okay, no. Say.
No, just say it. Gomenasai, Japan. Gomenasai. I'm sorry.
And while his apology was clearly fake, this confrontation scared him enough to go back to Thailand for a few days. However, it didn't take long for him to make his way back to Japan. Maybe he thought the Japanese people had forgotten about him by then. Unfortunately for Johnny, the Japanese didn't forget, and he learned this the hard way.
Just drop in Discord right now. Hop in Discord. Oh, whoa, what the?
All you have to say is stop.
But in Johnny's twisted minds, these incidents were nothing more than viral clips that brought him even more viewers, so he continued on the same path. That is, until he crossed the line and found himself in the back of a cop car. It started with him walking into random warehouses and harassing the people working there for no apparent reason.
Getting mad, bro. He's getting activated, dog.
Later the same day, he went into a restaurant, but instead of peacefully eating his meal, he kept blasting siren noises from his phone.
Hawaii. Chinese phone.
And as a YouTube comment pointed out, he wasn't just playing some random noise, he was deliberately trying to ruin the day of as many people as possible. The comment read, "That siren he played in the restaurant is the one that sounds every time North Korea files a missile that's heading for Japan's mainland. It's a sound that causes Japanese people actual anxiety, so that's why people got so upset. This also explains why the cops were called, leading to Johnny getting arrested the next day."
Who are you guys? Police? What the? Why are you fucking laughing at me? What the is this? なんて言ってます？あ、っていうことね。OK。OK、かけるよ。はい。あ、差し押さえ。全部差し押さえな。
He was charged with obstruction of business, which he tried to defend by claiming that the noise came out of his phone automatically, but the judge didn't buy any of it. Johnny's luck had finally run out. He was given a 200,000 yen fine, which is about $1,400. More importantly, he was also deported from Japan and is now banned from ever entering the country again. Now, you'd think that getting deported and banned from a country would serve as a wake-up call for Johnny. However, from Johnny's perspective, he just got away with harassing an entire country for what's essentially a slap on the wrist. So he tried his luck once again in early 2024, this time in Israel. There, he continued being a public menace. However, the internet as a whole was tired of his shenanigans at this point. He wasn't getting the same level of attention he had in Japan. So he decided to up the ante by attacking the religion of the country. He went to the Western Wall in Jerusalem, which is a holy site for Jewish people, and started disrespecting it by placing images of the streamer Aiden Ross and the convicted PDF file Jeffrey Epstein.
Aiden, this is you, nigga. Aiden Ross. Give Somalia a deal. Talk to Eddie for me, nigga. Epstein, you'll always be one of us. We love you. You're our king Jew. You're one of us. It doesn't matter what you did, nigga. You're still Jewish. You're still one of us. We love you.
Unsurprisingly, authorities at the site quickly arrested him and later banned him from entering the city again. This stunt also got him banned from Kick. Johnny, however, quickly moved on to Rumble and continued with the PDF file theme by hitting on underage girls.
I'm too young for you, I guess.
How old are you?
I'm 16.
It's legal here in Israel.
Going as far as singing about age just being a number and declaring that he would happily blank a young girl.
To prison. Take me to jail, police, come. Age ain't nothing but a number. You need an older man with some money. That's what you need. I really groom her. I'll really groom you. I swear to God.
And as if that wasn't bad enough, he then directed his degenerate gaze towards female police officers and stated openly, threatening to essay them in public.
Don't touch me. I'll slap that ass. I'll grab it too. Donald Trump told me grab it by the pussy. I'll grab that too. Stop playing with me. I don't give a f.
The cops were already occupied and didn't give him much attention, which only gave him the confidence to harass another female officer a few days later.
Oh, you a bad. I swear to God. You a bad. I'll take you to dinner. I swear to God. I'll change your life. I'll change your life, baby. Baby, I'll change your life. I promise you. You a bad.
This time, however, he wasn't lucky enough to escape the consequences. Not long after his remarks, 2 male officers approached and arrested him on the spot. All the while, he kept screaming that he was American, as if that somehow made it okay for him to be a total degenerate.
Okay, I'll go. What the fuck? Okay, now go. Relax. Relax. America. I'm in the saddle. I'm from America. What are you doing?
And while he was released from custody minutes after his arrest, the Israeli locals were quick to enact their own justice on him and his cameraman.
Oh, fuck. Hey, don't touch me, man. Hey. Oh, fuck.
The group that confronted him also ran off with his streaming equipment, and the people on the internet couldn't have been any more happier. He deserves it. He has no respect for anything. I see absolutely nothing wrong with this. This also forced him to leave Israel and find a new target for farming content, which brings us to the country that's set on making an example out of Johnny Somali, South Korea. He visited South Korea in September of 2024, and like last time, it didn't take very long for the internet to turn against him. Just days after entering the country, he decided to disrespect the statues of peace by covering himself in baby oil and doing an obscene dance in front of the statue before kissing the statue's lips. For those who don't know, the Statue of Peace is a memorial to Korean women who were forced into slavery by the Japanese army during World War II. Put simply, he was trivializing and mocking the horrors South Korea experienced during the war, all while broadcasting to an audience that either didn't know better or worse, found it entertaining. But instead of showing any remorse for his vile actions, he reacted to himself being on the South Korean news. He was just happy about getting more publicity. Little did he know at the time, this brief news coverage was about to change his life forever. As a comment on YouTube pointed out, don't be so sure you will get away with this and leave Korea in one piece. Koreans don't tolerate that kind of disrespect. In the meantime, he continued being his annoying self by harassing passengers on buses and blasting loud music on trains. Now, it's important to note that by this point, Johnny was so full of himself.
Bro, why are you being racist to other people in other countries? For money! For clout! I've said it many times. I don't give a fuck. I have no morals. I'm a fucking sociopath. I don't give a fuck.
Any beating he took became a viral clip to further fuel his quote success, and his encounters with law enforcement ended with nothing more than a slap on the wrist. So when viewers warned him about the consequences of being a jackass in South Korea, he proudly dared the people of Korea to swing at him.
Swing on that nigga right now! I was waiting for him to swing on Johnny. I was waiting, bro. I was waiting for him to
We're ready, Reddit, Twitter, come.
I wanted to stop on this.
Hank is here tonight. We're not scared.
Maybe he thought that South Koreans would behave like the Japanese, where they would confront him about his antics, but ultimately let him go after a discussion and an insincere apology. Korean people wanted to show him what happens when you disrespect the culture of a country and harass its citizens. This marked the beginning of a nationwide manhunt for Johnny, where people would find him no matter where he went, and took their time teaching him a lesson in respect.
때린다. 들어와. Wow.
Finding and pressing Johnny Somali became a national sport for young Koreans, with one Korean person writing, "It's too bad I left Seoul just a few weeks before he arrived. He was right in my neighborhood, and I would have loved to, quote, meet him." Now, due to the extremely violent nature of most of these encounters, I can't show them here, but it got to a point where he was being put in his place by different people multiple times a day, leaving his face bruised and swollen. One South Korean YouTuber even offered a 1 million won bounty, about $770, for information on his location. He had nowhere left to hide. But even this wasn't the end of his troubles. In November of 2024, Johnny shared a video of him kissing his supposed Korean girlfriend.
Look, me and my Korean girlfriend. Look, you see?
Y'all niggas jealous, y'all niggas getting pussy like this.
The girl in the video was Korean streamer Bong Bong IRL, who had nothing to do with Johnny, and the footage he showed was completely AI generated. However, using AI to create such videos is a massive crime in Korea with up to 7 years in jail time. So when Bong Bong IRL filed a report against him, he got arrested almost immediately. She eventually decided to drop the charges a few days later, probably just to avoid interacting with him in any way. However, before Johnny could celebrate being free, he got arrested again, this time for obstruction of business. This is because in his early days in Korea, Johnny visited a Korean convenience store to try the famous instant ramen. But just like he did in Japan, instead of respectfully enjoying food, he started a commotion by spilling water all over the convenience store table,
Right to say you should never have kids. You're
throwing noodles at other customers, disrespecting a store employee, and just being a flat-out jackass. The store didn't pursue him legally at the time, but seeing him get arrested for the AI-generated video gave them the perfect opportunity to file a report. Which brings us to the present, and Johnny isn't doing too well. He's since been charged with multiple other crimes, including another case of obstruction of business for when he harassed passengers on a bus.
If you guys don't know, in case you guys haven't been to Korea, buses tend to run on time. And if you are in any way delaying the timeliness of a bus, that is huge.
The Korean government has also taken his filming equipment and passport, leaving him unable to leave the country, and without his filming equipment, he has no way of making more money either. Now, we don't have any confirmation yet, but according to some sources, Johnny could face up to 29 years in prison. He's currently awaiting trial for the 7th of March 2025, and while he likely won't get the full 29 years, the Korean prosecutors will likely throw the book at him to set an example for other disrespectful content creators like him. And most people on the internet are hoping for the same, with one such comment reading, "Most respectful Americans would like to see him sent to jail for his disrespectful behavior. Letting him off will only encourage further inappropriate actions. Consequences need to be enacted and enforced." Looking back, he had plenty of chances to turn things around, but he thought he was untouchable. In the end, he dug his own grave, and now there's no way out of it. Even if by some miracle he gets deported without jail time, his reputation is in the gutter, and is banned from all major platforms. At this point, a comeback as a content creator seems almost impossible. And that's for the better.
And once the consequences start landing, the ending can almost feel inevitable.
For as long as he's been on YouTube, Vitaly has always been a victim of his own stupidity. From ruining his reputation with fake pranks, to literally assaulting random people. Vitaly is the type of creator to do anything and everything for views, and worry about the consequences later. However, what happens when you take that mindset to a place with zero tolerance for stupidity or reckless stunts?
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in any court of law. Sure, you understand the right.
Yes.
Throughout his life, Vitaly has done a myriad of things to make a name for himself. From trying to be a pro skater to appearing in adult films. Vitaly spent his early years experimenting with the unusual in an effort to carve out a career for himself. However, what truly sparked Vitaly's online career was YouTube prank videos. Back in the early 2010s, prank videos were a rapidly growing trend, and Vitaly was fortunate enough to hop on it just as it was becoming mainstream. The first viral hit on his channel was the infamous Miami zombie prank, in which Vitaly chases random people on the street while doing his best zombie impression. While the video managed to rack up an astonishing 30 million views and net Vitaly thousands of subscribers, the virality of the video and the reactions of the people in it was due to a very gruesome tragedy. A few days prior, a Miami resident named Ronald Popo was brutally attacked and had a major part of his face consumed by Rudy Eugene, who was later dubbed the Miami Zombie. The incident expectedly left other Miami residents on high alert, and Vitaly was very much aware of that, but he didn't seem to care and took advantage of the tragedy for views. On one hand, it gave Vitaly his start on YouTube, but on the other, it warped his sense of what constituted as viral content. Harassing, disrespecting, and using other people's pain for views was a formula that would eventually come back to haunt Vitaly. However, at the moment, it has brought in tens of millions of views with uploads like Russian Hitman 60 Seconds prank, Woman Abuse in Front of Cops prank, and the classic Gold Digger prank. He even managed to land a lead in the movie Natural Born Prankster, alongside other internet pranksters like Roman Atwood and Dennis Rohde.
For years, their pranks have gone viral.
Get the hell away from my car, you stupid little prick!
But what happens when they get too big for the internet?
I don't know. How do you know?
By 2019, Vitaly's unhinged escapades allowed him to surpass 10 million subscribers and cement his position as a YouTube icon. Within a few short years, Vitaly had gone from a no-name teenager harassing people to a widely recognized internet celebrity. But that success didn't come without a cost. On numerous occasions, Vitaly had been arrested by law enforcement and even spent a few days in jail at several points in his career. Some of his most notable misadventures and subsequent arrests include climbing the Hollywood sign.
We begin at 6:30 with breaking news. Good evening, I'm Micah Ullman. A man believed to be a YouTube prankster has climbed the Hollywood sign and is now back down on the ground.
Streaking during the 2014 World Cup. And filming himself climbing the Great Pyramids in Egypt.
I don't want to curse because I'm in the Holy Land. I love you so much, world. Thank you, universe. Thank you, Mother Nature, for bringing me to this incredible life. Stop the war. Stop the hate. We're all equal. Thank you so much for watching.
Vitaly's time as a prankster taught him that being a public spectacle was the only way to get views, no matter how stupid the stunt was. This mindset was only reinforced by the fact that he had hardly faced any serious legal consequences for his immature and criminal behavior. Unfortunately for Vitaly, that was all about to change, as his reckless approach to life was almost about to cost his own and completely derail his career. On the 12th of April 2020, Miami police were summoned to Vitaly's neighborhood following a very disturbing 911 call.
Exactly what's happening, ma'am. Somebody's outside beating the out of somebody. Are there any weapons involved? No. No, he's just beating the out of somebody. Okay. Female on the ground. He was punching her in the face left and right.
The assailant in question was none other than Vitaly, and according to both his later statements and police records, he had consumed several grams of psychedelic mushrooms, resulting in extremely vivid hallucinations that compelled him to leave his residence. Once outside, Vitaly spotted a woman jogging on the side of the road and began approaching her. Despite her attempts to get away from him, Vitaly tackled this woman to the ground and began viciously assaulting her with his fists. The attack left injuries on the woman's face and eye too horrific to show on YouTube. As people started to take notice, Vitaly fled the scene and returned to his home. A few minutes later, police arrived at Vitaly's home to apprehend him.
Your boy can stay back there. Put your hand on the car, man. No, just put your hand on the car.
Just lean on the carpet.
Lean on the car right there.
Hey, right here.
Put your hands behind the back. I'm gonna tell you again. Put your hands behind the back. I'm gonna tell you again. I got to save the life. Put your hands behind the back.
Good.
Hey, let me get another cup.
News on the internet spread like wildfire and immediately destroyed Vitaly's reputation as brands, fans, and other influencers began distancing themselves from him. This would only be the start of Vitaly's problems, as the woman filed a lawsuit against him the following week. To say that Vitaly was in a tough spot would be a gross understatement. Not only was he going to face heavy legal costs, but his career was also actively losing revenue from missed sponsorships and YouTube demonetizing his older prank videos. As if that wasn't bad enough, Vitaly was involved in a nearly fatal skydiving incident while trying to promote one of his adult websites. Apparently, the parachute that was supposed to serve as a banner for his site was too small and didn't provide enough air resistance to slow his descent.
Do us a favor, keep your neck straight, okay?
With his career, reputation, and body in shambles, Vitaly was forced to lay low for 2 years as he tried to resolve the lawsuit and make it through physical therapy. Vitaly wouldn't make an official comeback until the 6th of July 2022, when he posted this video to his Facebook page.
What's good, people? I wanted to do this video for a long time, but I simply wasn't ready. And I wanted to let you know what I've been going through in my life for the last 2 years and why I stopped uploading videos. I want to be real with you. I simply stopped uploading videos because I got burnt out. Before I had fun, and then it became a business and a job. And I was hanging around wrong people. The fame got to my head. I started abusing drugs and alcohol, traveling the world with beautiful women. You think it's all cool, but at the end, I wasn't really happy. Because of drugs and alcohol, I got into serious legal trouble. A legal trouble that I'll remember, regret, and have to live with for the rest of my life.
Following this, Vitaly apologized to his fans and promised to be a better person. However, he refused to mention outright what he did and the woman he harmed.
And I'm here today to apologize to all the people that are listening to me right now, to the whole world, to all the people that are let down. I'm so sorry. I was left alone and broken after the incident, and nobody to blame but myself. People that I thought were my friends weren't my friends, and I just fell into depression. I lost everything because of that. And like I said, I'm not here to blame anybody but myself. I take responsibility for my actions, and I simply fucked up. I'm so sorry. For the people that are listening to this, for the people that love me, for the people that hate me, for the people that don't even know who I am. Look what drugs and alcohol did to me. It almost ruined my life. I jeopardized my career. I lost relationships. I pretty much lost everything.
It was obvious that Vitaly wanted to worm his way back into the hearts of viewers, and while they accepted him, there was one statement that foreshadowed the real reason he was coming back: money.
I've been sober for 7 months and I feel better than ever. I started to be motivated again. I started wanting to make videos again for fun, not for business, like it used to be when I first started.
Regardless of his motives, Vitaly had made his return to the internet, but it was only a matter of time before he returned to his old ways. By the start of 2023, Vitaly moved his online activities from YouTube over to Kick, where he began doing IRL streams regularly. After all this time, you'd expect Vitaly to either come up with a new content strategy or at least tone down his previous one. Unfortunately, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Vitaly immediately returned to harassing random people in a manner reminiscent of his original prank videos.
How are you?
Well, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
Would you mind if I eat your booty?
I'm sorry. Sorry, this isn't a plausible conversation.
It's not?
No, I'm sorry.
Why? You're wearing a pink shirt, so I thought it's like,
No,
it's
sorry.
like welcome to Miami.
I'm here for one reason and one reason only. To pick up black girls like you and eat them out like there's no tomorrow.
Naturally, people weren't very interested in content from a previous era and barely engaged with the streams. This forced Vitaly to take an even more drastic approach to his content. Around 2024, Vitaly rebranded himself as a predator catcher and centered his content around setting up sting operations with larger streamers like Aiden Ross.
Yeah, bitch! Stay down!
Come on, man. I didn't do anything, bro.
Look at Russia here. You dirty piece of shit, bro.
You want to fuck me? No, man.
You!
This is scum of the earth, bro.
You deserve death! 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 You deserve... Man, you wanted to the ass, bro.
No, I did not.
Man, you wanted to in the ass.
When the hell did I say that?
Man, I know you want to the ass. He looks like a nice little 50-year-old boy. You want to
No, bro.
With a more justified target for his harassment and a viewer base that enjoyed watching predators getting taken down, Vitaly found a new way to monetize his unhinged antics and wasted no time in doubling down on it. For the next several months, Vitaly and several other internet personalities lured in and humiliated predator after predator. This type of sensational content rapidly drew in millions of viewers and hundreds of thousands of followers, eventually resulting in Vitaly receiving a Kick deal through Aiden Ross.
I've generated 400 million impressions on Kick. Where do I send the invoice?
To me.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
I'll get it approved.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Bro, this is no budget, Vitaly, bro. You don't understand what I want to do for the platform, bro.
Yo,
Y'all really gotta fuck with him. Man, fuck a minimum deal for him. We gotta give him the max contract.
Social media success aside, Vitali's campaign against predators has some concerning qualities that stand out when viewed critically. For one, a majority of the predators he catches are rarely arrested, and of those that are apprehended, there's yet to be any solid convictions. This fact holds true even when they catch someone notable. Furthermore, while Vitali is supposed to bring these scumbags to justice, he's shamelessly promoting gambling the entire stream. 1 minute he's forcing an alleged predator to kiss his feet.
On your knees. Kiss my feet and apologize. Kiss my feet. Kiss my feet. Thank you so much.
And the next he's shilling online casino games to his viewers.
If I lose right now, oh boy, okay? Pick a mine. Pick a mine. Click anywhere on the screen. You better fucking click it right. Good boy. I give you one more chance. Pick a mine. It better be green. It better be green. It better be green. Whoo, my boy's making me bread. One more mine. Uno más. Uno más. Should I give him another try? He's making us bang. Good boy. Good boy.
To Vitali, this wasn't about bringing predators to justice. It was about making a public spectacle and a quick buck. Sadly, it wasn't long before Vitali's game of Catch the Predator yielded some real consequences for everyone involved. During one of his sting operations, Vitali received a kick ban after a predator decided to take his clothes off in front of a hired actress. This incident not only highlighted how incompetent Vitali and his team were, but also how dangerous these types of operations could be. Kick would eventually reverse the ban, and Vitali was once again forced to find a new way to make money off harassing people. Unfortunately for Vitali, this next method he settled on would cost him much more than a simple ban. By the 27th of March 2025, Vitali abandoned the predator catching and moved to the Philippines to try his hand at travel vlogging.
Show you who's behind the camera. It's gonna be Kane, the man, the myth, the legend. What's good, Kane? You got the craziest fucking stories. Chad, we're gonna have so much fun today. Let's show him the villa, man. Let's walk around, dude.
For a while, Vitali seemed to have good intentions when he entered the country and visited less fortunate areas to give away various items. However, during his next stream titled Vitali Disturbing the Peace in Philippines, it became apparent that Vitali was still going with his usual public tomfoolery.
I have no team to control me. I'm myself right now, and you will see. You think shaving head and pissing on their face was too much? I'm coming back ultra demon time, 1000x Plinko ball demon time. This is gonna get fucking Conor McGregor 1-2 hook, left, right, done, bro. Knocked out everyone, bro. So nobody gonna beat my content. I'm already getting licenses to become a police officer.
Within just 2 hours of the stream, Vitali was already harassing everyone in sight.
I have a question. I have a very important question for you. Can I shove this up your booty?
What?
Can I put this in your butt? It's called a new video game, Mario Kart Infinity 360. Is that okay or no?
When he didn't get the reaction he wanted, Vitali decided to take things a step further and commit the first of his many crimes in the Philippines.
Lihin mo, kuya. Lihin mo. Cop doesn't want to do anything. He's just
Why does he not react?
Nice.
He's not chasing me.
I know.
I want you to chase me.
To chase me.
If harassing people the first time didn't work, Vitali was more than willing to do it as often as he had needed to get the reaction he was looking for.
I'm gonna fucking eat your dog. Excuse me. How much to sell your dog to China?
The incredibly disturbing part about all of this was how little Vitali seemed to care about the chaos he was spreading and only seemed to care about how many viewers he was getting.
How many viewers we got?
4,900.
4,900. Let's break the 5K, chat. Excuse me, madam. Sorry. I'm gonna fucking rob you if you keep walking away. I want to give you money. No, okay. No. Okay, because you got a COVID mask, you liberal fuck. Go get your vaccine. I was trying to give you money, but all right. Trying to be a nicer grandma.
Harassing people wasn't enough for Vitaly, as he went around stealing various items from stores around the city.
That's my only fan left in the chat. Since I don't have any fans, since I fell off, my only fan, bro.
Even after doing all of these idiotic acts, Vitaly felt like nothing would come of it, and he'd face absolutely no consequences.
I love this IRL shit, man. This is my new shit. I just need to find a whole bunch of clippers, because from the clips from today, there would be probably all over the net already. But anyways, I got my family, which is you guys, and we're good. That's all I need.
Well, Vitaly was right about one thing. His clips would go viral, but they also set in motion a series of events that would eventually land Vitaly in his worst nightmare. However, before that could happen, another travel vlogger named Unlock Philippines, aka Eric Cabrera, confronted Vitaly and tried to talk some sense into him.
I started a channel out in Thailand, just exploring and showing people what it's like, and I came here, I've been here a month. Yeah. But genuinely, when we come here and we have power, like we stream and we show people that we have influence, what would it hurt you to take someone and build them up here as the locals instead of like, because there's been videos about you that have come out and they've been showcasing like the bad things that you do, but what about the good? Like,
have you seen the good, what I've been doing?
They don't show it as much. And so I'm wondering, what's it like for a streamer when people don't show the good?
That's a good question because it frustrates me, but I just started streaming. I don't have a team. My team left me, so I'm getting clippers and I'm getting everybody, yeah.
Instead of critically thinking about how these escapades has damaged his reputation and the reputation of other travel streamers, Vitaly only considered how viral his antics were.
Do you know there's a content creator named Atozi?
No, I don't know who that is.
He just did a video on you 5 hours ago.
Saying what?
Saying that you were harassing people here in the Philippines.
Yeah, and what about me donating over $20,000 in the last 2 days?
Right, and as a content creator, that stuff kind of goes under...
No, it doesn't, because my editors are working on it, and I'm going to release the truth.
I'm saying when it happens, people don't broadcast that as much.
Yeah, but I don't get... For me, when you know what I mean, then I'm back on top. For me, when people talk shit, that's how I know I'm doing the right thing, because people want to bring me down when you're up. When you're down, nobody cares about you. When you're up on top, everyone wants to bring you down. It's the same thing with my pedophile catches. Everyone thinks they're fake. Oh, they're all real.
When Eric questioned him about the depraved nature of his content, Vitaly immediately resorted to insults and threats of violence.
I'm not talking shit.
So why are you
asking you why even make that content? Genuinely.
Because
I'm speaking up for a large majority of people.
Shut the fuck up, because I do whatever the fuck I want. What are you gonna follow me?
I'm not gonna follow you.
I swear to God, bro.
I'm trying to have a real conversation. You need to lift people up for a living, and I came here to say that to everybody. You're a literal piece of shit.
Perfect, amazing. Let's go.
Okay.
Don't fucking touch me before I knock you the fuck out.
You're not gonna knock me out.
Oh yeah? What are you gonna do?
I guarantee you're not gonna knock me out.
Yo, back off. What are you gonna do about it? You came with security? If I didn't have this camera right now,
I don't have security either. I'm literally just as big as you.
Okay, cool.
You don't need to solve shit with violence, bro. Words are.
I'm trying to walk away from you, and you're trying to follow me, so you're harassing me.
I'm calling you out for being a piece of shit.
Okay, I am a piece of shit. Congratulations.
It was clear that Vitaly felt no remorse for his actions. No one else was worth considering if it meant he could get a few views and donations on his stream. Unfortunately for Vitaly, he wouldn't get away with that sort of behavior forever. By the 2nd of April, Vitaly's luck finally ran out, as he was apprehended by Filipino law enforcement.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in any court of law. If you cannot afford the counsel, the government will be provided for you at any government expense. You understand the right? Yes.
Even now that he was in police custody, Vitaly still wasn't taking the situation seriously, laughing and smirking while they read him his rights. In Vitaly's mind, the worst that they could do was either deport him or fine him. After all, this wasn't his first time being detained in a foreign country. Sadly, this wasn't Egypt or the United States. Filipino law enforcement takes this kind of thing very seriously. By the 7th of April 2025, Vitaly was brought on national television to be officially charged for his crimes.
Also this morning, Secretary Remulla presented to the media the Russian vlogger who's been detained by authorities for harassing Filipinos at Bonifacio Global City in Taguig.
For a bit of extra context, Vitaly was being charged with the following crimes: alarm and scandal, attempted theft, and unjust vexation. Altogether, these charges could land Vitaly multiple decades in prison if convicted, and there's no doubt that the Filipino law system wants to make an example out of Vitaly, but only time will tell what his exact punishment will be. Throughout his entire career, Vitaly has been incapable of acknowledging his mistakes, and has been radically delusional about the potential consequences of his actions. For years, he harassed, threatened, and provoked people to grow his online platform. Even when people warned him about the danger, Vitaly felt he knew best, and thought anyone criticizing him was just trying to keep him down. Since he hadn't received any real time behind bars, Vitaly likely assumed he'd never see the four walls of a prison cell. Fortunately, if what the Filipino law enforcement says is true, then it looks like that's all Vitaly will be seeing for a long time. Comment below if you think Vitaly should be in prison.
But Vitaly was not the only prank-style creator whose career turned into a warning sign.
What happens after a creator has spent their entire career provoking, harassing, and belittling everyone around them? Do they, 1, eventually learn the error of their ways and become a better person, or 2, lose everything they worked for and crash out in the most dramatic way possible? Unfortunately for Jack Doherty, it was the latter, as his never-ending thirst for notoriety has caused all of the people around him and his main sources of income to completely abandon him.
Guys, look. Me and McKinley just broke up. The cops are outside of my house right now. She just called the cops on me, packed all her shit, took her car, everything. Insane.
For those of you fortunate enough to not know who Jack Doherty is, he's the personification of everything wrong with IRL streaming and influencer culture. From building his career on being a public nuisance, to glamorizing degeneracy by promoting OF models. Jack only cares about enriching himself, even if it's at the expense of others around him. These reckless pursuits often endangered not just himself, but everyone around him. One of the most recent examples was when he lost control of his McLaren while responding to stream chats on his phone. You'd think Jack would at least tone down his wild antics after such a traumatic event, but the publicity around the incident only encouraged him to take on more risky behaviors. Unfortunately for Jack, none of the controversies surrounding his career ever translate into meaningful engagement, as he's been caught view-botting on more than one occasion.
The views, look at robot views. Okay, let's see stable Ronaldo. Okay, let's see. Whoa.
As you'd imagine, Jack tried to hide the truth by calling his critics broke.
I see on Twitter everyone is saying I've been view-botting. I just got married today. I'm sorry that people add views to my stream and there's nothing I can do about it. Big whoop. And then everyone's saying I don't have a lot of chatters in my Twitch thing. It's because I have a deal with party.com. So I tell everyone to chat in the party.com chat because that's the only chat I read. So everyone knows not to look at the Twitch chat and go to the party chat. But I got married today. Fudge all the haters. You guys are broke at the end of the day, so you guys really can't be talking.
From Jack's perspective, it didn't matter what he was doing as long as it made him money, and he was even willing to scam his fans to make a quick buck. By the 22nd of November 2024, Jack started a Twitter livestream captioned "Buying Meme Coins Live," in which he desperately tried to hide the fact that he was about to promote his own meme coin.
Whoever gets the ticker symbol right of what I'm getting, of what coin I'm about to buy, it's one of my most viral moments, guys, so I'm about to show y'all what it is. I'm about to put a bag in it. And I'm excited, guys. I'm excited.
When Jack finally decided to pick a coin, his intentions became very obvious. Not only was the coin created an hour before the live stream, but its title was a direct reference to one of Jack's other viral moments.
This is the coin I'm about to buy. Right here, baby. I'm buying McLaren coin. All right, let's go. I just bought 5 soul. I just bought 5 soul worth. Let's see. Okay, let's see.
Once users began to buy in, Jack stopped engaging with the chat and ended the stream right before he rug pulled his fans. Sadly, scamming his audience once wasn't enough for Jack, as he'd pull the same trick again the following day. By the time people began calling Jack out for his deplorable behavior, he'd make them hate him even more. with tweets that read, "It's funny how the people who have the least to show for themselves are always the first to comment on shit I be doing. Like dog, focus on yourself before you start critiquing anything I do. Nothing will ever stop me. I'm mentally stronger than all of you low IQ Fs who have so much to say about me." It wasn't apparent at that moment, but Jack's statement about being unstoppable would be put to test in the coming months. For now, he ignored all the warning signs and continued with his usual degeneracy. Around the same time Jack was scamming his fans, someone else was scamming him, and he barely saw it coming.
I'm doing the meta, the Kai Cenat sub meta. You gift him 100 subs and then you get like 10K live viewers. And then he gets all excited about like $500, so whoop-de-doo. Sorry. I'll just run an ad right now and make it right back. Come on. No, I'm kidding. Guys, should I gift him 1,000 subs right now, chat? Get them all going? Guys, should I give Kai Cenat should I give him 1,000 subscribers, chat, before I crash out on my McLaren? Kai said gift another 100 if it's the real you.
After he had donated the subs, Kai completely disavowed Jack, and made it apparent that no reputable creator would ever associate with him.
Wait. So I'm not gonna lie, I was gonna live with Jack. We just finessed him out of 300.
This was a harsh reminder to Jack that money isn't going to make people overlook his horrible reputation, but that didn't keep him from trying other ways of gaining positive public perception. On the 23rd of December, Jack tried to garner some goodwill and publicity by interviewing with the creator PackGod, but it only served to degrade his reputation further and expose him as a fraud.
So one thing that a lot of people were asking about that I'll just relay for you is your primary source of income. Where would you say you make the most amount of money on the internet? If you don't mind disclosing that. If you do, that's
I'm pretty sure you're digging for the only answer. Not kidding, but obviously, it's not like, so that's not known. But yeah, a decent amount of my money comes from OnlyFans management and that side of things. But also a decent chunk of it, my monthly income comes from my own stuff. I have a kick deal, I have a gambling deal, I have a YouTube channel and a bunch of other stuff. So I make enough money, off just myself.
While the interview was only a few minutes long, it felt like an eternity for Jack, as PackGod constantly confronted him with the degenerate nature of his business and social media persona, something Jack was nowhere near ready to deal with.
A lot of people have, some fault with you promoting OnlyFans to young children. What would you say to these people who say that, that's an irresponsible thing to do? Making videos for young children with editing that's stylized for young children, and then at the end of these videos, what you're doing is promoting pornography. What do you say to that?
Business, dog. What are you gonna do about it?
It's just business?
I'm kidding. Sorry.
No, okay, Jack, come on, man, come on. Just how about you just say it, but then stand by it. Just say it's just business, and then be like, it's just business. Just say just be like, look, I'm gonna promote.
It's just like at the end of the day, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. And
if Jack had any humanity left, this interview could have been a wake-up call, but it seemed he was too far gone. As 2024 drew to a close, so did whatever relevancy or respect Jack had left. One could argue Jack had no need for such things. However, they were only the first of many dominoes that fell before Jack lost the one thing he cared about most: money. By the start of 2025, Kick would reverse Jack's ban on the platform and give him another chance to be a better streamer. In response to the good news, Jack boasted about how his career was back on track and promised he'd be a different kind of streamer this time.
But I'm gonna be good. I'm not gonna be too cocky just for the first week, just because everyone that didn't believe in me, man. But listen, I'm gonna be way more humble moving forward, and I'm never gonna up again. I know I've said it a million times, but trust me, bro. It was an accident. What happened? What got me banned was an accident. Accidents happen, bro. That's why it's called an accident.
While there was a small chance Jack had actually changed, it was only a matter of time before he slipped back into his old ways. On the 19th of February 2025, Jack went live streaming with creator Joshua Block, and while everything was normal for the most part, things would take a turn for the worst when a random stream sniper decided to give him a taste of his own medicine.
I just have to, bro. Yeah. I think I might just. Well, you're getting chips everywhere. All right. Enough.
fucking bitch. Stupid fuck. Now what, bitch? Now what? Dave, he's good, Dave, let him be. Let him be. We're good.
Even though Jack wasn't the first one to instigate the confrontation, he took it too far by retaliating like that with his bodyguard, a decision that Kick wasn't going to tolerate, as they immediately banned him for violating terms of service.
I think I just got banned on Kick. Oh my god, dog. I just got banned on Kick because yeah, I'm cooked, bro. How is that fair, guys? This is why I don't like Kick, bro. It's like...
You defended yourself.
Jack's impulsive attitude had once again cost him everything, and when he tried to appeal the ban, Kick immediately rejected it, to which Jack responded with the following statement.
Fucking disruption? All 200,000 followers are built on your fucking platform. Fuck you and lick my fucking balls, Eddie. Fuck you and all your Australian friends. They all suck dick. I'm sorry, you guys are a bunch of pussies. You're turning into Twitch, and you know what? Twitch is fucking better, because I'm actually live on Twitch right now, because it's not a fucking liberal-ass platform like you guys. I hope you the border as well.
After losing his most profitable streaming platform for the final time, Jack returned to his usual reckless stunts, hoping to regain some of his lost viewership, but it didn't turn out how he wanted.
You good? Holy shit. Oh, I'm done with that. Oh.
Despite this stunt landing him in the hospital, Jack was completely unwilling to learn his lesson and explore safer or less damaging forms of content creation. Looking back at his career as a whole, the only time Jack has ever shown any consideration or remorse for his actions was when it affected his income. Sadly, Jack would have to be taught that lesson one more time before truly understanding that his actions have consequences. By the 25th of March 2025, Jack woke up to the news that his longtime girlfriend, McKinley, had not just broken up with him, but also called the police to assist her in reclaiming her things.
Guys, look. Me and McKinley just broke up. The cops are outside of my house right now. She just called the cops on me, packed all her shit, took her car, everything. Insane, bro.
In his panicked state, Jack revealed just how much this breakup would cost him financially.
I mean, like yesterday I told you guys we were in a fight. Instead of talking to me, like I thought everything was okay. Instead of talking to me, this bitch has been plotting the past 24 hours. She changed all of her passwords to all of her social media accounts that I blew the up because she's my fucking girlfriend. Like the and she just took, like, evil, bro. Evil bitch. She just took 500 grand a month from me. Evil, bro. She's been plotting. She used me the past 2 years to fucking... I can't believe I'm so mad. This is like...
It's ironic how Jack is only just now realizing that money doesn't make people genuinely care about you. And even though it was too late for him to correct that mistake, he still tried to convince her to stay.
Yes, you usually wouldn't answer me. You called the cops before you fucking talked to your boyfriend? Are you kidding me? Like, how the fuck are you doing that? That's it, bro. That's all I did. I don't know. Yeah, but I did. I just wanted to talk to you. That's it. Then just talk to me. You wouldn't answer me, bro. Are you fucking kidding me? I was crashing out. Man, you called the cops. You can't like slow down.
Looking at one of the officers' body cam footage gives us a bit more insight on what really transpired between the two before the police got involved.
So she put some stuff on.
Yeah. So he got violent with her last night. He put his hands on her. She came to my house. I'm an old friend of his. But she's right there in a different car, waiting. Yeah. If he were to see my car, it would have escalated things. So I hid here. She's there with her friend in a car in a Nissan that he's never seen before. So
well, who's she and he and who are all these people?
McKinley.
That's who they're calling.
Yes.
Apparently, Jack had threatened McKinley the previous day, and now that she was leaving, he tried to find any excuse to make her stay. While there isn't any footage of the said threats being made, Jack's comment about putting a quote hit on her friend leads us to believe that he did have some ill intent towards them.
Who is this bitch? Who is this evil friend in her life? I've never met this bitch ever, but she pops out to help her move out of my house. It's put a hit on her.
Regardless of what initiated the breakup, Jack still tried to make himself look like the victim, but viewers weren't buying it and clowned him in the comments section, reading, "She's been planning this for a while, not just the last 24 hours. Toxic people have toxic relationships. She was a gold digger, but he is a jerk, so he had it coming." And no wonder why she broke up with you. Like, you call her names and never say sorry. You just buy her stuff. And of course she did grow up. Like, you're in your 20s, you're not 14 anymore, even though you act like it. Grow up. From alienating his closest friends, to losing his girlfriend, and the hundreds of thousands of dollars she brought in every month, Jack is finally suffering the consequences of his self-centered approach to life. For a while, Jack assumed such a thing would never happen. But now that it did, he has no one to blame but himself. Throwing money at his problems could only get him so far, and when you factor in his current trajectory, it's only a matter of time before he has nothing left.
And even after all that, Jack's situation somehow kept getting worse. The most hated streamer in the world is somehow even more pathetic than people thought he was.
One of them being he flipped an entire golf cart on top of me on purpose.
And at this point, there doesn't seem to be a single line he won't cross for clout and money.
He literally was excited over the fact that we were going to make the most money we have ever made in our lives. It wasn't because he was excited to have a baby with me and have a family and start a new era.
It has reached the stage where his ex-girlfriend did a 5-hour interview exposing him for being a terrible and abusive boyfriend who manipulated her through false affection, trapped her with endless contracts and NDAs, and only cared about the money he was able to make from her. And instead of taking these allegations seriously or addressing them at all, Jack was busy trying to break into events he wasn't invited to, getting into arguments with other creators, and saying the most outrageous stuff he could think of.
I'm kidding, but like, my brother's gay. The fuck? I kissed 2 guys at once. How can I be homophobic? You don't know anything. You're just a woman.
You can still be homophobic.
Oh, and what are you?
All for the sake of farming viral clips, just so he can keep his dying career afloat for a little while longer. Jack Doherty is arguably one of the most infamous streamers on the planet. He made a name for himself by harassing people in real life, and then hiding behind his bodyguard when things got real. He also became known for hanging out with a bunch of OF models on streams. We now know the true extent to which he was exploiting these girls, but we'll get to that in a bit. Put simply, Jack was the quintessential nuisance streamer who quickly became one of the most hated figures on the internet. And while this notoriety fueled his growth initially, it has also become a key factor of his perpetual downfall. Because whenever something bad happens to him, not a single soul is willing to give him any support. Every day when Jack is having a bad day is a good day. When I got a notification that he lost everything, I smiled. Jack Doherty is not doing very well. Good. The last time everyone was clowning on Jack, he was trying to gain online attention by faking a robbery.
I just got robbed on Rodeo Drive. 4 armed guys hopped out of their car, ripped both my chains off my neck.
Crashing out over his girlfriend, McKinley, breaking up with him, and calling the cops to escape his clutches.
His hands on her.
It's like my girlfriend called the cops on me. I can't believe what's happening right now. Girls are the fake it. You guys wouldn't even believe it. Bro, you called the cops on me, my own.
And failing miserably at farming sympathy from the internet.
I love her and she's my girlfriend. That's why I've been with her for the past 2 years. You know, it's like, I'm not an idiot. I'm not gonna be with someone I don't love or don't think I would be with in the future. And I don't think it's something like we can't overcome, but like...
Now, from everything that came out when the breakup happened back in May last year, we had some idea of why McKinley made this decision.
He got violent with her last night. He put his hands on her. She came to my house. I'm an old friend of his.
However, even with everything people already knew about Jack, no one could have predicted just how dire her situation really was. The details of her life with Jack became public in October 2025, when McKinley appeared on Camila Araujo's podcast, who was also a part of Jack's group until earlier that year. The single episode was divided into 2 parts, spanning over 5 hours in total, and packed to the brim with some of the most damning allegations against Jack. A large portion of these allegations were focused around the same topic: Jack's borderline obsession with farming content. Admittedly, anyone even remotely familiar with him knew this already. After all, the first thought in his mind after crashing his McLaren and injuring his friend wasn't rushing him to a hospital or even making sure that he was okay. Instead, his first instinct was to start filming the aftermath of the crash, just so he could get as many views out of the accident as possible. As a comment on YouTube, YouTube puts it, crashed going 71 miles per hour while reading chat on a highway full of rain. He gave his bleeding friend a camera and a phone to get the angles. Don't forget, his friend's arm is popped out. This man is just disgusting, honestly. But even that incident didn't fully reveal the length Jack's willing to go to for content. About an hour and a half into the first part of the podcast, McKinley recounted an incident that happened in August last year. Jack took McKinley and others in his crew to a takeover event in LA, which for those who don't know are informal, often illegal and dangerous car meets, where hundreds of people gather to perform stunts like drifting and street racing in a public space. Several of these meets usually happen back to back on the same night as well, with viewers having to drive between them if they want to catch all of the action. That night, Jack and the others had already gone to 2 of these events, and were driving to the 3rd one on their tour bus. McKinley, however, had a bad feeling about the whole thing, and decided to stay back in the bus for the 3rd one. Unfortunately for her, the bus turned out to be far less secure than she had hoped.
Like, we were not hiding anywhere. Like, we were in a party bus, like, very out in the open. And I was sitting in my seat, every type of thing, freaking out, so much anxiety. And then I hear the car door open. And I pop my head up, and I'm like, okay, everyone's back, like, finally time to go. When I looked up from the seat, I make eye contact with a guy I'd never seen before in a surgical mask. Like, it wasn't the 2 guys in shiesties that I had seen, it was a guy with a bag, a gun.
She didn't know what this guy's intentions were, and was understandably scared out of her mind.
And I looked at him, he said, "Who's in this party bus?" I didn't think he knew I was in there. So when I popped up and like made eye contact with him, I thought maybe it would spook him and that he would like get out. And then I saw him hop over the seat into the van. And in this van, like, you're able to stand up fully straight up. He started running like towards me, and I was like, I'm dead. Like, this is the time I like either get like, you know, killed or something horrible. And I just remember saying like, please, no. Like, I just was begging him. I was like, you can have everything, like, of mine. You can have my purse, you can have my money. I couldn't find my purse anywhere. I was like, where the fuck is it? I was like, please help me find it.
Luckily, the guy was only after her money and took off after robbing her. And while losing everything sucked, it was one of the better outcomes of that unpredictable situation.
And get away with it. It could have been a stolen gun. He had a mask on. They could have came back to me dead in the car. But I was like, please help me find my purse. Like, I'll give you everything.
After calming her nerves, she managed to call Jack and the others back to the bus. And after going through such a traumatic event, the least she deserved was reassurance from her boyfriend. Jack, however, had something else on his mind. To him, McKinley nearly losing her life was nothing more than great content that is sure to go viral.
Wait, did he take your stuff?
I think.
What the fuck?
I don't know. I said, "Where's my baggies to get your fucking bag?"
He took your purse?
I don't know.
McKinley, where?
Oh my God.
Where's the key? Where's the key?
Okay.
But that was the most real trauma.
Even when she explicitly asked Jack to cut the cameras, he did not listen and continued filming.
Like, it was a noise that had never came out of me before. I was freaking out. Jack was, yelling at me. He was like, what happened? And I'm like shaking. I'm like, I can't even like explain what happened. He refused to shut off the camera. He refused to stop his live stream. He was laughing about it, saying like, well, you're gonna wake up tomorrow and like you're gonna wake up to all these TikToks and like these viral clips. And I'm like, Jack, I don't care. I'm like, everything is content. Like, I don't know what isn't anymore.
However, as awful as this behavior was, at least he wasn't the one who caused the incident in the first place. Because, as it turns out, he's not above deliberately harming others just for the sake of farming viral clips. And there's no better example of this than one of his streams back in November 2023, when he flipped a golf cart while McKinley was sitting beside him. He received plenty of backlash for it back when it happened, but for the wrong reason. You see, most people at the time assumed that he was just being reckless, and the cart flipping over was a total accident, with some commenters even telling him to be, quote, careful. But as McKinley revealed during the podcast, this was no accident.
One of them being he flipped an entire golf cart on top of me on purpose, and it was for a clip. I know that because he was trying his best to flip it, and you can see in the footage the only thing that he was looking for was the camera to see if they got it. I want to insert that clip and show you guys what had happened.
And that wasn't even the worst of it. Jack not only did the stunt on purpose, he once again prioritized content over the safety and well-being of his girlfriend.
He had prior obligations to go on a yacht with Antonio Brown, so it wasn't a priority. I was like, Jack, I need to go to the hospital. I was crying. I couldn't even walk. My back was so bruised up, and like my whole entire spine was just bruised. And my neck, it had hit my neck. It literally could have killed me.
He kept trying to convince her that she was okay and that it was nothing. However, when she took matters into her own hands and went to the hospital without him, he suddenly rushed over to the hospital. Of course, the reason behind this visit had little to do with his concern over his girlfriend, and it was more about his desire to get as much content out of it as possible.
And he was filming me. I was so embarrassed because I'm like, I'm in the hospital, you're filming all of these things. He was like, you're the baddest one in the hospital on video. And I was like, I'm just not in the mood for this. But he was filming and they gave me medicine.
But at least he pretended to care while the cameras were on, as he not only never treated her like a normal girlfriend behind the scenes, but sometimes even got physically violent with her over otherwise minor arguments.
He's like, you're not grateful for shit. He was like, I should have never given you a fucking chance. And I'm brushing my teeth, I'm crying, there are tears coming down my face. And he comes right here and he's like, you're a stupid fucking whore, you fucking whore. And he's spitting on me. He literally, I could feel the fucking spit come off of his mouth because of how close he was to my face, screaming in my ear. And he pushes me as hard as he can into the wall. And I caught myself in my arm, which I have a picture of the bruise.
Which begs the question, why did McKinley get in a relationship with such an awful guy in the first place? And the answer to this question involves the biggest accusation McKinley made against Jack on this podcast. Put simply, Jack actually treated her super well in the beginning. She talked extensively about how he made her feel loved and protected during the early days of their relationship. There was a time when she could see herself spending the rest of her life with Jack. Despite how he treated everyone else on his streams, he was nice and kind to her.
If he was toxic in the beginning, why was I with him? But he wasn't. He was amazing. And I want people to know that like I didn't put myself in a toxic situation, but he was so different in the beginning. And I know like what people see of him online, like it's obviously negative and all this stuff, but that wasn't who I fell for. It was not that. It was a protector. It was a provider. It was someone that had respect for me and, you know, just made sure I was okay and opening the car door for me, taking me out to dinner, very respectful.
She even mentioned being okay with his OF business as long as he kept her out of it. But then the mask started slipping, as his true motive became more and more apparent.
Michelle walked into the bathroom I was in. I was by myself. And she basically told me, listen, don't freak out, but Jack really wants you to start OnlyFans. And he said that there's no reason for you guys to be together if you're not helping. And I broke down in tears. I was like, wow, like everything that he had said to me, like, oh, I know you're my wife because you don't have one. And getting me to go to dinner and try to get me on OnlyFans, but it didn't work. Now it's an ultimatum. He wanted me, when he realized he didn't have the control over me when it came to other people and like what they could say, he realized that he did need to create an ultimatum for me. And that was hard for me. And he knew that. He knew what I felt and how I felt about him and the whole situation.
As she mentioned in the podcast, this was quite the shock for McKinley, who never thought Jack would want this from her. But when she tried to argue against it and give her reasoning for why she didn't want to do it, that's when the alleged true emotional manipulation began.
They just start laughing. I didn't think it was funny. I guess they were just like, because Jack had never brought up OnlyFans to me, so it was like, because he made everyone else do it. Very awkward. Yeah, he made everyone else do it. Which was, it's sad looking back on it because that was something I respected. I was like, I respect the fact that he cares about my beliefs and he understands that.
Assuming everything she revealed on the podcast was true, it makes it clear why he was so nice to her earlier, since to him, this was all part of his plan to gain her trust and eventually use that trust to expand his OF business even further. After talking to him, she believed she could talk him out of it. Jack, however, was more prepared to move forward with his plans than she realized.
And in my head, I was like, I am not doing this. I'll have a conversation with him tomorrow and I'll just be like, listen, I've been thinking about it. I can't do it. Like, that's where my head was at, but I just literally, I wanted to stop the conversation. I was so uncomfortable, and he told me to sign it. I didn't even have the opportunity to talk to my parents about it. I was gonna call my mom because my mom was more comforting.
Now, it's important to clarify that he technically didn't force her to sign that contract, but from everything revealed about his behavior and manipulation, it's not hard to see why she agreed. The contract he had her sign was also quite exploitative, as it gave Jack full control of all her socials, while also making him entitled to a significant portion of her future earnings. Unfortunately for McKinley, that was only the beginning of her troubles.
Access to my accounts and all of this stuff, the disrespect started showing. Like, he was not as respectful as he was in the beginning. A dinner, you could forget about it. We never went on dates. We never did anything like how we did in the past. He was strictly just, content. So I was like, how do you keep up with all of this stuff?
So not only did Jack love bomb her in the beginning, just so he could convince her to sign that contract, but the second she did, he dropped the mask entirely and became obsessed with earning as much money through her as possible. This also revealed another destructive side of Jack that she didn't know about before, his substance abuse problem. Allegedly, Jack is severely addicted to prescription stimulants, even though he doesn't have any legit medical reason to take them. And if that wasn't bad enough, he allegedly forces many of his employees to take it as well, and even got McKinley addicted to the same stuff, just so they could keep up with his insane content schedule.
I'm exhausted. Like, how does your life, like, how do you continue to do this? And he was like, it's Adderall. Like, you should try. He was like, you will be successful. I'm not proud of it at all, but I had a horrible Adderall addiction dating him because of him telling me I needed to keep up with him. And also, it's like when Jack's face is somewhere, I was always there. I had to keep up with him.
This one addiction also reveals a lot about why he behaves the way he does on camera. As a comment on YouTube perfectly puts it, addicted to drugs plus addicted to attention. That's a bad combination. That said, if manipulating her into signing an OF contract and getting her addicted to prescription stimulants wasn't enough, throughout the podcast, McKinley also revealed many other horrible things Jack did, including actively cheating on her, openly flirting with other girls in front of her, and constantly berating her both on stream and behind the scenes. To Jack, their entire relationship was about the money he could get from OF, and the content he could produce for his other socials. And nothing made this more apparent than when McKinley tested positive on a pregnancy test. If he had even an ounce of real feelings for her, this could have served as a way for them to solidify their relationship into something much more concrete. That's what McKinley expected as well, but nothing in the world could have prepared her for the first thing that popped into his mind after hearing this news.
I told him, and he didn't seem surprised whatsoever. He was like, W. He literally was excited over the fact that we were going to make the most money we have ever made in our lives. It wasn't because he was excited to have a baby with me and have a family and start a new era of our life. It was, oh my gosh, we're gonna start a family YouTube channel and you're going to make so much money when you're pregnant and you have a pregnant belly.
The only silver lining in here was that Jack was very upfront about his intentions. It ended up being a reality check for McKinley, who, after consulting with a few other people, decided to terminate her pregnancy. She did not want to subject herself or her baby to the plans Jack had already made up for them.
Are in an abusive relationship, and you know, they find out they're having a child and they think that the child will, you know, make them a better person.
This incident also gave her the courage to eventually escape his clutches. Now, before moving forward, an important point to note is that while much of Jack's toxic behavior is public on his streams and videos, McKinley didn't provide much evidence for some of the accusations she made against Jack. Though, with everything he's known for, a large chunk of the internet is willing to believe her completely. Some people have also had an issue with her completely glossing over the gross videos she made to promote her OF involving minors, and the fact that her OF is still active months after she separated from Jack, casting doubt on her claims of Jack being the one who manipulated her into it. A proper response from Jack with solid proof can clarify these doubts, one way or another, but from the looks of things, he's showing no interest in defending himself. Maybe he thinks ignoring the controversy would make it go away. Unfortunately for him, the walls are starting to close in from every direction, and there's nothing he can do to come out the other side unscathed. People around the internet are fed up with his antics. The comments under everything he posts are flooded with people either hating on him or demanding justice for McKinley, be it on YouTube, TikTok, or any other social platforms he uses. This backlash has also tanked his viewership, especially on YouTube, where he went from getting hundreds of thousands of viewers per video to often not even reaching 100,000. But online backlash and hate is one thing. Jack's even getting cooked in real life as well, like when he tried to sneak into TwitchCon by making one of his new OF girls distract the guards.
Go distract that guy, make him look to the right, we're all gonna walk left.
Go.
Is your mic allowed in? Why don't we just go with him? Hi.
He was also very proud of this little stunt.
Oh, we snuck into TwitchCon. We snuck into TwitchCon. We snuck into TwitchCon.
That is until just a few minutes later, when he got confronted by the guards.
You mind stepping out over here? I need to speak to you.
Yeah.
Just come on out.
I got you.
Come on out over to...
And was promptly kicked out of the venue.
Short to be security. You are way too short to be security.
Now
you can't even run after us. Why are you low-key such a bitch? Yeah, why are you...
After his master plan of causing chaos at TwitchCon and farming clips failed completely, he became even more desperate and started shouting homophobic slurs just to get attention. And when streamer Peach Jars called him out on it, he had the strangest excuse locked and loaded.
I'm kidding, but like, my brother's gay. The fuck? I kissed two guys at once. How can I be homophobic? You don't know anything. You're just a woman.
You can still be homophobic.
Oh, and what are you? Homosexual?
A reasonable human being.
How am I homophobic? I love my brother.
You're not just hear all the slurs you
So
said?
what was doesn't mean I'm homophobic just because I say fat, I'm homophobic. Fat, I'm homophobic.
What was reasonable?
And nothing's gonna happen to me, that's the problem.
He was likely hoping to turn this into a full confrontation, but Peach Jars quickly realized what he was doing and simply walked away, causing him to become even more desperate.
I need a good comeback. I need something from you. You're full of hate. I need you to have one good, hateful comment on me. Something that makes sense. Something that's true. Because
I think he's better looking than you.
No, because you have nothing to say. You have nothing to say.
Then, when he was least expecting it, streamer Soul Jakey found him in the crowd and began pressing him for scamming tens if not hundreds of thousands of dollars from his fans through crypto rug pulls.
How are you? How come you rugged all those meme coins, bro? On Pump Fun. I didn't. What do you mean? You did. You're still streaming? Yeah, I'm live right now. On Pump Fun? Streaming on Pump Fun? Nah, not on Pump Fun, nah. Wait, I think that was the time. I mean, you took all the money from those like 4 coins. I didn't take money from shit. Look at the charts, boy. You didn't rug them? Nope. It was a straight red candle, bro. No, on every single one of them. No, it wasn't. Dude, nah, no one bought it. You rugged for 6K though.
Oh, he rugged a coin for 6 grand? What a
By this point, the frustration of his plans falling apart was clearly getting to him, resulting in him lashing out at Soul Jakey just a few minutes later.
Stupid part, you can't even let me speak, you idiot. Go ahead.
Can you speak, you fucking idiot?
On that one. Hey, you guys are so dumb. You got me only 6K.
You got 6K for a coin.
And if that wasn't enough, he got pressed by another streamer named Canel Joseph, who not only humiliated him in front of a live crowd.
What are your thoughts on Jack Doherty?
He's a put.
Why?
Because it's Jack Doherty, bro. He's a put, bro. If he doesn't have no security, bro, he's...
But also shared the video with a much larger audience on YouTube. And all of this happened on the same night. Jack has become the punching bag of the streaming world, where anyone can walk up, insult him to his face, and the internet would cheer them on. That's not to say this is enough to pay for everything McKinley accused him of. He should absolutely face proper consequences for his vile actions. And for a moment, it looked like his luck had finally run out, because on the 15th of November, he was arrested in Florida for the possession of marijuana and other controlled substances, which were presumably the stimulants McKinley mentioned in the podcast. He tried to act all nonchalant and resist arrest, but forgot that his bodyguard won't be able to save him from the police, and got absolutely humbled as a result.
What? No.
I got him. Hey, yo, you don't want to go neither. Back up. I'm just saying I got him. Back up. Don't worry about it. Back up. Yo, back up. Yo. Where we going? You back up. Chill.
Go to the sidewalk now. Go to the sidewalk now. You want to go with him?
You want to be fucking funny.
Go to the sidewalk now.
You want to be funny. We're trying to get on the street. Go on the fucking street. I know who the fuck you think you are, bro.
I'm getting out.
No, you're fucking not.
He was trying.
After I fucking do this, who the fuck are you, bro?
I was trying to walk up the street. But
doesn't matter, bro. All you had to do was get in the fucking sidewalk. That's it.
Unfortunately, he was released on bail less than a day later, allowing him to continue being a public nuisance ever since. That said, he is still facing up to 7 years behind bars, which would be a fitting end for him. But even if that doesn't happen, and he's let go with just a slap on the wrist or a small fine, he's still on his way to lose the one thing he did all this for: his career. No one on the internet takes him seriously anymore, and the only people still watching are there to clown on him at every possible opportunity. And the way things are headed, it won't be long before those people get bored as well, leaving Jack to fade into obscurity.